Yeah, why don't we do a quick recap? Tabula Rasa, session 97. Yeah, why don't you give us a quick recap, Beldani, of last time?
All right. So, after arriving in the capital and doing a few things, we decided we are going to spend a few weeks here getting our affairs in order. Betha goes shopping for some healing potions, finds just under 24, I think, about 20. The professor works on scribing some spells. Donnie and Ivor are off to do research. Neil and I are off casing possible places to rob. And Theo sequestered himself at the Artisans Guild.
That's right.
See.
It was Beldani's 11 last time.
By the end of the week, Daniel, one of our henchfolk, comes back with some things that he's traded for our spell scrolls. Theo goes to dinner with Cornelius Edavolt and shares some of the information about the trains discovered in Issyk, as well as the presence of the Warforged and the artifice of steam engines. Cornelius seems very intrigued and offers an amulet of health and a meeting with Archmage Cork in exchange for information about the location of these things in Issyk. Getting wind of this, the professor decides it's time for us to go talk to Theo. So the whole group reconvenes at the Artisans Guild. Theo doesn't want to let anyone in at first, but Zalia's pretty insistent. We all enter Theo's chambers. Rather heated argument ensues, mostly around how the Phoenix Guild will react to Ivor and his true nature.
Indeed.
Things don't really end up getting resolved, but we sort of smooth things over by both sides giving Betha items that they had discovered or traded for her. So Betha
I
now
love
has
that so much.
Goggles of Night and the Bag of Holding. During our second week, Betha continues working on the potions of necrotic resistance. The professor continues scribing magics. And Theo works on more items, this time creating a cloak of protection and a rod of the Pact Keeper. Donnie goes gallivanting around the city trying to find people to arm wrestle and ends up winning quite a few arm wrestling battles.
I thought it was pit fighting too. I thought it was pit fighting, and he was
pit fighting to start. Yeah,
he made a name for himself first, and then he made everyone start his arm wrestling guild.
He's trying to start the arm wrestling guild. So he's pit fighting to drum up like hype. He's hype manning his arm wrestling league.
Yeah. And while Donnie is off demonstrating his feats of strength, Neil and I break into Lady Ivana's house. Unfortunately, we don't get caught, but unfortunately we don't escape with any goods either, so a wash.
Your security was better than you thought.
And Ivor continues his research into some unknown topic.
Is being mysterious.
And then finally we hear back from Neil's contact, and Ivor and I go to meet the woman who supposedly has the Shadowfell tuning fork. She's a woman named Shara Shatterkai, like myself, and will give us the fork as payment for us taking her with us to the Shadowfell. When she hears us talk about the Shadowlords, she's a little taken aback and tells us of all the trouble they caused in the Shadowfell, but they haven't been active for centuries, if not longer. And their return would be an ill omen for everyone involved in the Shadowfell. So, and it was the end of week 2 on the 61st of fall where we pick up.
All right, thank you for that recap. Did we finish out the second week?
We did.
Let me look at my notes again.
I feel like we had finished out.
Based on the items I have made, yes.
Yeah, so last week we went from the 47 to the 61st, which I think is 14 days. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going into the third week. I assume the group wants to continue their affairs at the capital.
Yes, and on our way away from the Artisans Guild, Zelia gave Ivor the Luckstone, and Ivor gave Zelia the Cloak of Protection that he was given, because he can't wear it.
All right. So...
Just can't make matching cloaks now.
Yeah.
You could. But
No, that'll be
You
the
don't-
glamour weave.
yeah, I'll be good.
So I guess for the third week, I guess we'll go down the line. Betha, do you know what you want to do for the third week?
I'm going to be really exciting and hide out in the alchemy lab and continue brewing.
All right. Well, it's exciting when you make useful potions. So, which potion are you brewing this week? Another
Necrotic resistance, yes.
Makes sense.
I'm also going to do a little bit of shopping just for regular stuff that's book price.
Yeah, that's completely fine. What about
Pump up my new bag of holding.
put stuff in
Ayo.
it, test it out. What about Zelia?
I'm going to be scribing scrolls, so I can scribe 1 1/4 Scorching Ray, 2nd level scrolls, and that's what I'll be doing.
That's creating the new scrolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So you're working on that. Theo?
Actually, yeah. So it's 3 days for each one, so I can almost get to 2.
Alright. Are there complications with scroll scribing?
There can be, but I don't know if they are kicking it.
I-
10%
But
chance, alright. Let's see. I'll roll dice.
Is that based on a time frame or just any time you scribe?
It says the complications that arise are more likely involve the preparation needed. Every work week brings a 10% chance. So this is it would probably be at the end because you're doing what was it a second level?
Yeah, a couple. I plan to do 4 or 5. So they're 3 days each, so it'd be like 1 and 2/3 of 1.
All right, so you will be doing that for the week, so there is a chance something happens. Are you using gold, or are you going to use any components for this?
I've already bought ink and paper for this, so I'm using that.
Okay.
Luckily, she knows somebody who knows how to infuse paper and ink properly.
All right. So you're using the magical inks you got to scribe these scrolls.
Yeah, my own stuff, so it should be fairly subtle. I know there some of the complications are like someone notices and gets jealous. I'm
Yeah.
basically in my room with my own stuff. So.
Yeah, so it's unlikely too much will happen, but
She gets a little too close to her candle flame while working past dusk or something.
burns
That's the
down
complication.
school.
One of the possibilities is
Okay, I think burning down the school is a little more than just a complication.
That ramped up quick.
one of the complications is using up the last of the ink in town.
Zalia
but-
single-handedly uses up all the ink in the city.
In the
I could do
capital.
it. Try me.
You guys are giving me ideas now. All right.
These are the table's ideas.
Oh yeah, no.
Other than burning down the school.
I was looking through some of this stuff for no particular reason.
I do find it hilarious if a thief tries to break in there with Z.
Yeah. Alright, so Zalia's working on those scrolls. Theo, you doing more magical item craft?
Depends. If Beldani's free for the week, I'm gonna help him reverse engineer his poison. If not, then I'm working on making a crossbow that I can then turn into a +1.
Well, alright, so I guess Beldani, are you gonna be doing poison or more criminal stuff?
I think the idea was that week 3 was the week that Theo and I would work together on the drow poison. So
alright, so you two are doing the poison. Let me roll something for that.
Roll for poison.
Roll for poison. Donnie? I'm wondering if I should resolve these now or wait till you all tell me what to do, then go through and resolve them.
I think that's really up to you.
If something could take a bit of time, go ahead and resolve it. If not, then
I feel like there might be events going on during the week, so before everything resolves, I feel like I should just get an idea of what everyone's doing. Alright, so Donnie, what are you doing?
I was debating between pit fighting and searching for magic items again. I don't suppose I could do both.
I think you have to choose one or the other. Find your way back to your magical, like, Diagon Alley area, where there's decks of many
it was
things
cool
for
stuff,
sale.
but I can't afford any of it. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I don't really have a strong idea of what Donnie would end up doing. Probably go back to the pit fighting since he had a good time with that at least first week. He could do it 2 weeks in a row, and really trying to see if anyone would take up his challenge to do arm wrestling rather than pit fighting as a test of strength, and if anyone was gambling on it.
Your arm
there's
wrestling
also that librarian.
Man,
Donnie's
not
more
a-
interested in pit fighting.
yeah, Donnie's not. I mean, everyone's a sexual being, but he's not out there like
Looking for it.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, so far he hasn't looked for it. The women just pop up to him being like, "Oh, you are a strapping giant."
Yeah. Remember, he's an orc.
Yup. Librarian first, undead queen before.
Reverse that, yeah. Not first.
Yeah, reverse that.
Reverse that order, yeah. Alright, so Donnie's doing that. And Ivor, what are you doing?
I am
More
reading.
More research
Yeah.
stuff? Okay.
Yep. I sent you a message in reference to one of the things we had talked about before. Specifically, this is what I would be doing this third week.
Skulking, or no. What's the gentleman skulking?
That's
That's what I was asking earlier.
I don't remember what we called it.
We still called it skulking.
Is it just skulking?
It's just skulking with style.
Gentleman skulking. Skulking. with
Gentlemanly
style.
skulking, yeah, exactly. Stylized skulking.
I just copied and pasted that from earlier.
Yeah, for some reason my brain wasn't processing what I wrote to you.
Sure.
Okay, I think I understand. Alright.
Turns out he's researching Fae. We're all just thrown for a loop.
Alright, so event-wise, there is still the meeting with the Archmage, Theo. Do you want to try to set that up at some point?
If Bell's with me, Bell, should I set that up now, or am I going to get murdered?
I'll say basically your contact in the Artisans Guild gave you a way to contact the Archmage. So you're assuming once you contact him, he'll set up some time to meet.
Did agree, as Celia stalked out, that we were going to proceed with the meeting.
Oh yeah, Theo thinks he's going to get killed if he doesn't let Zalia schedule the time.
Celia would be very unhappy.
He's already in the bad
Zalia's-
books right now. He expects everything he does to then get himself further in the hole.
He's in trouble.
Okay.
So yeah, do you
So long,
want
Theo
to?
overreacting.
So Theo, or go ahead. Sorry.
I would just tell Theo, just set something up for the week's end. I think we can regroup with the professor and everyone else by then.
Awesome, you
Hopefully.
gave me the time, so I can blame you if she gets mad.
I have an out.
Theo has a big grin on his face, obviously trying to joke about that bit.
He has an out. All right, so you want to try to schedule something at the end of the week?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Betha, you're doing potion brewing, which
Can I
yeah.
is that the only thing I can do this week, or would I be able to like attend one of Donnie's matches during my downtime? Like,
Yeah, you can definitely
evening
do
time
other
or something.
things. I mean, it's the same like you think of going to work. Like you can do other things like go
Yeah.
out to lunch, go like catch a game after a day at work. Like go
Oh,
to the pits.
Can I gamble? Can I gamble on Donnie's pit
It's a
fight?
week-long activity.
Yeah,
Is it?
to
Just to play through
actual
that? Okay.
to actually like it's considered like playing the numbers over time more than just a single bet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like people who gamble professionally.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, I guess if you
Is it different though than just like
Betha
placing
is
bet
at
on-
retirement age. She should be gambling a lot right now.
is there like
I feel
old
like,
lady
yeah, that's
visor
like-
on, just sitting
Yeah.
at
Oh
the,
no,
the
we
slot
need
machine?
slot
Slot
machine.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about this one. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, so with gambling, it takes a work week, and you have to stake at least 10 GP up to 1,000 GP.
Okay. Well, I was gonna stake more than 10, but not 1,000. And I mean, I just wanted to like go like see one match and just see if we can make a little
Let's try
money
to
on it.
bet
But that's fine.
on-
I don't want to give up my work week if it has to actually be what I'm doing for the week. So that's
We
fine.
can make more potions later if you want to go gamble.
That's okay.
Take a week off to go gamble. I'm trying to look up. I was just looking up.
Let's take a road trip to the local casino, like just outside of town or over in the next town or whatever.
Did they even
Diego's
have
turn.
buses? And
They have probably
I mean,
horse
like
carriages.
wagon trains or
Yeah.
caravans or something.
Caravans specifically to bring the old people to the casinos.
And there'll be
Alright.
special apothecaries where you get different drugs that you can't get.
God.
Like,
So
This is
this
speaking
is.
too much reality.
So wait, for the necrotic resistance potion, that's an uncommon, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So that's the 100 gold pieces in one work week because it's halved.
Yes.
Sounds right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
yeah.
is
That
the
sounds
cost
like-
half? Things are only halved and quartered whenever Theo's involved.
No.
No.
For
Oh, wait,
the-
no,
'cause it's
consumables.
consumable.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
keep forgetting. Xanathar's
Yeah,
is
but 100 gold is what you charged me the last 2 weeks.
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
no,
it's
that's
one
correct.
1 week's time,
Yeah.
like 40-hour work week. Yeah.
Yeah, no, consumables are halved for gold and time. So yeah, that is correct. So yeah, you would spend the week. You don't have any issues, and you would make your potion. So you're all good for the week. At the end of the week, you will get your potion. And did we lose you on Roll20? I don't see you in here.
Oh, did we? Maybe. Let me go check. I'm in a
Alright.
different window. Oh, yeah, I guess
So,
we did.
Just make sure the date passes before you give yourself the potion, but get ready to get it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Zalia, you were doing the scrolls. I guess I could have done that. I could have rolled for stuff as we were going down the line, and then we'll just say you get your stuff at the end of the week. But anyway, scrolls. That was the 10%. Huh. Okay. Give me a d20 roll.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's
Something
not as bad.
happened.
Not as
Not
bad as
as
what?
bad, he said. Could have been worse.
Ink is gone. That's all his nightmare.
Just all the ink in the city. Sorry, I have to think about this one. I'm not sure if this would make sense in the capital.
You broke Lou's game.
Well, now
Can
I
you
need to go look at the potion crafting table.
Can you reskin it or something to make it work in the
Yeah,
capital?
that's kind of what I was thinking of how what this would look like.
My complication or Betha's?
It's yours.
Okay. You rolled a 10, I take it.
I rolled a 0-1, which is 10 or under. Huh. Alright, so I guess,
Isn't that the ink one?
no, it's not the ink one. No, the actual complication I rolled was, a priest of the temple accuses you of trafficking in dark magic. But, would that even happen? That's why I'm
I mean, I'm in my room, so I don't know. Maybe he caught wind of me. Maybe.
Yeah, but
It
there's
could
a
be
whole...
like her. What's your
Who was the person you didn't want? Who's your Padawan that you didn't want to investigate? You're accused of doing things with.
LOD.
Oh, oh,
Or
you're giving me ideas now, Donnie. That's not good.
Yeah.
Or bad.
Or that peer that you don't like. I forget. his
Malastray?
fucking-
I
No.
do-
Oh no,
No.
sorry.
In my backstory, I have a frenemy.
Oh,
Oh, a frenemy.
frenemy. That's interesting.
Maybe the frenemy is looking for a big promotion that's just opened, and he thinks you came back to town to steal it from him, so he's going to try and undermine you, when really you don't even care about the spot.
Makes good sense, because if it's coming back about LED, then they may
Yeah,
call me in
actually,
chat, but I don't know how that would affect my scroll creation.
no, it probably wouldn't affect the actual creation. It just might create a new hook that I wasn't planning for. So now I'm just trying to get my brain to work on how this is going to play out.
New hooks.
Yeah.
One of the higher ups who
Hey,
knows Zalia for a long time goes, no, that's not possible.
Let me get back to that. I'll keep going down the line. I'm going to make a note of that, though. Just so I can...
Dun dun dun.
Exactly. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, Theo. You were doing the poison with Beldani. Why don't we do a poison check? Both of you roll one. Poison crafting. Probably intelligence. Poison.
So we talked about me being able to potentially use the alchemy tools instead of poisoner's kit
Sure,
to
you
help
can
him.
use alchemy. That's fine.
And you said intelligence
Yeah.
for the ability? Alright.
Yeah, probably. Intelligence or wisdom, I'll say. You can use either.
I definitely would prefer wisdom, so I'm going to go for that with my poisoner's kit.
I did really bad. Can I flash a genius?
Not for like a week-long thing, unfortunately.
I do have 4 uses of those a day that I'd be using every day in crafting things as... Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work for like an 8-hour activity. That's not a bad roll, though. 15 and 16. I would say that's probably a success.
Making it to where it doesn't apply to the long-term things is making one of Artificer's main abilities not apply to Artificer domain.
Well, I would say it's like Flash of Genius is like
it's already
a.
super powerful. That's
Well,
my-
I'd say it's like to me it feels like a I don't know, like a short-term like panic button. Like fuck.
Yeah, suddenly
I don't think you can
remembering
top up
something
all
of
week.
great value, or something. But yeah, I mean, like I said, those are still pretty good rolls. So you, I'll say, will be able to, with lots of testing over the week, reverse engineer the poison. So you will figure out the formula, which I will get back to you on. Formula figured out. Success.
Excellent.
Donnie, you're going into the pits. You do notice from last week that there are some arm wrestling matches going on now in the pit fighting areas. So,
The new fad.
I will
Donnie.
openly challenge anyone who wants to arm wrestle.
Do you want to... So are you going to, like, skip the pit fights and just do arm wrestling the whole time?
Sure. And hopefully some fun stuff will happen as a part of that.
Again, to kind of hype man your stuff.
Yep.
Alright. I might still use the pit fighting rules.
That's fine, yeah. You can use those, or maybe
very-
one of them wants to wager a horn of blasting that I can
Very...
win on.
no one's going to bet you a horn of blasting. Is this like James Bond? They throw their Lamborghini keys into the pot. It's like, let me wager my car.
I am telling the story of the horn of blasting often.
Yeah, you're making it well known. All right, so you make three checks, starting with strength athletics, with your multiple arm wrestlings a day.
Yeah.
Oh, good roll. So I have to set the DC. I don't think I can... No, even if I rolled max, I think you beat me anyway on that one. So that's a success. You do very well on the strength-based arm wrestling. Let's do a dex acrobatics for the dexterity arm wrestling. Not sure what that looks like, but...
Oh, that's way less good.
No, in fact, I don't think I can roll low enough to get below that. Yeah. So you definitely...
One sure win, one sure loss.
Yeah. And now you do the...
hit die, I believe, right?
Yes. Constitution check, with a bonus equal to your largest hit die, which would be a D12. So check with a D12 added.
Okay, so there's the con.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is very much a success, especially with the D12. So you got 2 successes. You do a lot of... and actually, add in a persuasion check to hype up your arm wrestling, and I'll give you advantage on this one. Because you were doing so well.
Not great, but it's not bad either.
No, not bad. So yeah, you do some hyping up on your arm wrestling. You were definitely... are you the champion? You only got 2 successes. I'll say that you actually are not the champion of the arm wrestling league right now. There is someone who's beating you.
Oh,
yeah. I'm
possible rival.
That's two sessions of. My record would be 4-6 or 4 wins, 2 losses, so 4-2 right now.
Yeah, although it's more like over a week's time. So you've been arm wrestling a lot. It's more like representative, but
so I mean using that as my ratio that I am winning for every
that
I'm
makes
winning
sense.
2 to 1. Yeah, I'm winning 2 to 1 basically.
There is rumor of some super arm wrestler who has defeated everyone he's fought, but you haven't fought him yet. So you did win 100 gold pieces overall for your troubles.
Nice. Donnie's making bank. All of
how
us
many
are
people would you
spending
say
it.
I arm wrestled during that week?
Oh jeez. I mean, it's not like those take long, so I mean, you could have done lots of different arm wrestling matches.
The reason I'm asking is I was going to give a gold piece to each person I battled as a way of saying, keep doing this. This is what you want to be doing.
I was thinking you were going after like 50 plus people in a week.
Okay, that's fine. So how much did I win?
You won 100.
So I will take 50.
All right. So spending that much money, actually, give me another persuasion check with advantage.
Yep, sure.
As you're doing some more hype work with all this gold. All right.
That's not bad.
So yeah, it seems like it's definitely becoming more popular. It's still nowhere near the pit fighting numbers, but there's definitely a lot of interest in it, especially with all the money you're kind of pumping into it as well. All right.
I like that. Yep.
So Ivor, your stuff is pretty easy. I don't think there's any... I'll double check that, but I don't think there's complications for research.
He might not be a keyboard.
Oh, did he step away?
Looks like he's not on video.
How dare you, Ivor? Research. Oh, there is a 10% chance of issue. So let me roll that. No. Alright. So your or Ivor's stuff will pass smoothly, although he's AFK, so let him know when he gets back. So Zalia, as you've been doing things during the week, I'll say maybe halfway through the week, you get a letter. Well, I'll just say your aunt comes to see you. So you're in your room. You have all your paper spread out. Your inks are everywhere as you're going through getting your scrolls created. When
my fingers are covered in ink, I got ink on my nose.
Exactly. You're all definitely in the middle of it. When you're disturbed.
Is Bevianda the kind that would chide you for like your appearances, or is she as...
No, I don't think so. But you hear a knock at the door.
Yes, who is it? I'm very busy and important.
Oh, Zalia, it's your
You're very
aunt.
busy and important.
It's your Aunt Bevianda. Do you have a moment to speak, dear?
Of course, I'm Bevianda. Just a moment. I'll smooth my clothing and.
Are you decent? You hear chanting, and the door just unlocks as she walks in.
Yes, of course. What seems to be the trouble?
Thank
you very much for the tuning fork, by the way. It did come.
Oh yes, of course. I'm glad it was helpful. I was a little bit worried. It was a little bit more challenging than I thought to get it, but anyway, I'm glad it is of use to you. But
of course it is. You're wonderful. I'm sorry I haven't been to see you as much this week as I would have liked. I've been rather heads down on some scribing.
Oh, don't even worry, dear. I know how it is when you're young and so busy with everything. Ah, my gods, I remember back in the day when I was in the middle of studying and crafting scrolls and oh, goodness. In any case, I wanted to speak with you because I heard some disturbing news. There's talk about the college of you being involved in some sort of necromancies and rumors. You know how they can be bothersome at times. I'm sure nothing would come of it, but I thought you should know that there are whispers of that. And of course, people know you're here because of all the work you've been doing, but it seems to have something to do with some student of yours. I believe her name is Elodie.
Are you sure they haven't gotten confused with the Shadowlords that we fought? Elodie, my former student, she was there and did help give us assistance in that regard.
Oh, I'm sure I don't know the exact details, dear. I've just heard some whispers, and you know how rumors can be at the college, especially rumors of necromantic affiliations and unlicensed magic use. So I have been trying to look into where these are coming from, but I thought you should know because I figured you would want to look into them as well. You and those lovely friends of yours.
Indeed. I shouldn't like to poke around in that too. You know how rumors can be, aren't? It's all nastiness and jealousy, really. But of course, it's probably something confused with Elodie's leaving of the university and the fact that she was there. I can assure you that it's nothing to worry about, and
she says,
for the moment, the Shadowlords have been dispatched.
There was that nastiness of her being expelled because of some of her necromantic interests long ago. I imagine that has something to do with these rumors, but again, I don't know exactly what's going on. It just sounds like a lot of hogwash to me. I'm sure there's no truth to these rumors, yes? That you are affiliated with this non-licensed necromantic pupil.
Dee was with us for a short time in Isik. I did not witness her directly casting anything that would be of concern. I do know there's a member of the Phoenix Guild there who probably has eyes on her, a certain Malice Stray. So
Scarlet or Crimson Dagger or something, wasn't it? Like the
nothing at all to do with me, of course.
Malice Stray, huh? Do you know what branch of the Phoenix Guild he is?
I believe he's something to do with the Crimson Dagger or something like that.
Oh, the Mage Hunters.
Indeed.
I see.
So I'm sure it's all well in hand, Aunt, and obviously has nothing to do with me. Yes.
Yes.
The very idea.
I'm sure it's all. I guess give me a. Are you
Oh,
trying
that'd be
to
a
be?
deception check.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Be,
I was gonna say. You do know that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go for a deception check.
I know more than I should. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna use a DM's inspiration for this. And Sally's gonna desperately wish she had cast Enhance Ability before she opened the door.
But she didn't open the door. Bev just came on in.
14.
She says, "Oh dear, I'm sure you're right. It's probably utter nonsense, but it might be good to just look into this when you're not busy with your scrolls, and I'm sure nothing bad will come of it. And of course, if you need anything, I am here to help you."
I should be happy to look into it, Aunt, if you have a name for me to look into it with. But I shouldn't like to wander about the college generating rumors by asking questions. We've got a lot to do, and we're probably going to be leaving within the week.
She says, "Well, I believe the she gives you a name. She says, "I believe this is where I had heard something." Here, let me get a name really quick. Let me check my notes for this name that I pre-planned. It is a individual known as Alabaster Sage. Arcanist Alabaster Sage.
Him.
So, yes.
Well, he's a bit of a gossip, don't you think, Aunt?
Oh yes, definitely. I told him, not my niece. There's no way that these are obvious falsehoods. But if you're interested in tracking the rumor and maybe seeing what's going on with it, he might be the one you should ask where he heard it. I'm a little concerned if the Mage Hunters are involved. You definitely don't want your name with them, as they deal less. Well, if they're involved, it's less of a rumor and more of an investigation. But hopefully,
I think they're directly involved with this, Aunt. This Mage Hunter did travel. He was a former Mage Hunter, and he did travel with us for some time. He had concerns about LOD, but it really has nothing at all to do with me.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll leave it in your capable hands. And remember to clean off your nose, dear. It's covered in ink. You've gotten this place all black spotted. You even grown up, you still have your bad habits.
Indeed. Yes. Well, thanks for dropping by, Aunt. Again, don't worry at all. Nothing untoward about the magic going on here. No. And I will have tea tomorrow, perhaps.
All right. Have a good evening. I don't know why I gave her an accent just there. All right. Have a good evening, dear. Goodbye.
Bye.
You sigh as you close the... Who is this guy? Alright, so...
It's not your frenemy, is it?
No, I actually... Do we have a character for your frenemy somewhere in the NPCs yet? I should add him just so I remember you have another...
He's listed there. Yeah.
What is his name?
Well, you would ask me that.
Now you have to look stuff up. Haha.
I will. I shall look it up in my backstory. His name is Professor Didier Guildenstone. He's a rival archaeologist and abjuration mage.
Can you spell that?
Didier, D-I-D-I-E-R, Guildenstone, G-I-L-D-E-N-S-T-O-N-E.
I thought that was that name. I have a friend named DDA.
Pretty sure there was a dude, a French guy who used to play on Wednesdays way back when, whose name was Didier.
Yes, he is the new dungeon master now.
Oh,
that's
Didier,
Rizek?
Yeah. Good old Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc, yeah.
That's right!
Wait, what?
Also,
Jean-Luc?
Also a former,
Jean-Luc was his character.
Yeah, also a former Wizards of the Coast employee.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine. I'm interested to see what his schedule is.
But anyway, so that's that. And the other event this week was the Archmage meeting. Now, were you doing that alone, Theo?
I'm gonna do that, what you were trying to do when he was AFK.
Oh, right. Ivor, so you got your research done, and you should be good, so you can go ahead and spend the gold.
Okay. Is there anything specific that I accomplish with that research?
Yeah, maybe I can send you
Okay, cool.
a message.
If you want to sort it out later, that's fine. I just didn't know if there was anything tangible that would come about as a result of that one.
Yeah, well, why don't I send you the info for that? So you did definitely succeed in what you want to do, but I'll send you the specifics later.
Sounds good.
Just so, yeah. So it's not too suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Your high-class skulking.
Don't be suspicious.
Exactly.
Just call me John Ralphio or whatever his name is.
We're just walking down the library halls, bobbing his head. Don't be suspicious. Don't.
Alright, so yeah, the Archmage meeting, Theo, are you doing that alone or with any of your people?
I send out note letting everybody know that it's happening.
Alright, so you're all going to this meeting?
That's the plan, yes.
I think we wanted to, yeah.
Alright, so...
Free food, right?
Free food.
Indeed.
I'm sure they want to meet the famous arm wrestler, too.
I believe that's why they called the meeting, Donnie.
I heard some whispers about a new league starting up at the Artisans Guild. Is that you?
That's me.
Yeah, the talk of the town is probably a bit about the arm wrestling, and still the nobles are in shock and still trying to catch the daring thieves who tried to the bandits who tried to rob the graceful lady so and so. Yeah, the shirtless bandits. Did you have your shirt off as well, Beldani, or was that just Neil?
He's got living armor, but...
I've got living armor, so I can't take my...
That's
but
true.
Neil is very memorable, so...
Yeah, who is that shirtless man hopping around on the
rooftop?
Not.
I don't think we had gotten a clear answer one way or the other whether or not the living armor was involved in other events.
Yeah.
I think we faded to black on that question, so...
Fade to black, carrying on!
Exactly. Alright, so the group meets up, and you are all invited to dinner. We'll say actually this is after the third week passes, so you can all spend your stuff. Remember to spend your upkeep for the week. I know some of you are living top notch, and others are living a little bit below that. So remember to do that
0
for
gold.
the days.
And Zalia, I haven't been subtracting the gold from my potions or adding the potions to the party treasury. Do you want me to do that? I just didn't want to be in there when you're in there.
No, you can do that. I have not for you.
All right, I will add them now because I'll just.
That's a lie. I did do it for the first week.
All right, so then I'll do 2 weeks worth now, and I'll have just passed the potions off to Zalia once I finished with them, so that they'd be in the inventory.
Okay.
Did you do the necrotic resistant potion the first week?
We
Yes.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you did something else, but okay.
Didn't you make healing potions the first week?
I walked around to see what healing potions were available in the town.
Yeah,
I did not
that was before the week
that was before the week long.
No, all 3 weeks I've done necrotic resistance.
All right.
And so I'm taking this off the alchemical reagents. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So let me adjust the time as the days have passed. Another productive week. So another 7 days would make it the 68th of fall.
Have we had an opportunity to pop back to Char? We discussed possibly portaling there.
Not yet.
You haven't, you haven't yet, but you certainly could at some point, especially if you have a way of getting back right away.
Zalia?
Because it's been a while.
Yeah.
There's not a proper teleportation circle anywhere near Char yet.
There's one under Char.
An actual teleportation circle?
There's a hollow point under there, but I don't think
those don't work with.
No, there is one teleportation circle under Char.
In Blackwater's basement, right?
Yeah, it's not far from there. That's the only teleportation circle in that area. That's how we plan to get back.
There was one under Isik? Was there one under Char?
I don't remember one under Char. I only remember the archway.
Well, what we could do is we could use hollow points to connect us with teleportation circles.
That's true. You could teleport to the one because the one I have in my notes is the one near the Sword Wraith lair, the one that's just south of it.
What I'm thinking of. Yeah, there is one. Yeah.
Okay, so we could go there and then use the one that we set up in Chiron's library to get back to Char.
Yes, you could teleport, then use a hollow point.
And then Zalia can get us back to the capital using her spell.
Bit of a roundabout travel method, but it is still quicker than walking for a month, or however long it is. I think it's 3 weeks, actually.
I think we should walk. It's fun.
Donnie
well,
is
we want to go
sprinter.
north, though. Let's spend our time traveling up north.
Donnie's taking up power walking, arm wrestling. He's a proper old man now.
Well, he has gotten stuck in a portal for hundreds of years before.
That's true.
I could see him being a bit reticent about portaling all the time.
Yeah,
That's the wrong word.
Like Mr. T and flying.
All right. Well, all right. So you all spent your upkeeps. The third week had passed, and you have.
Settled on 4 gold a day for noble, not like the aristocratic, but like the wealthy. Okay.
I'm living on the streets. I don't have gold anymore, and Artisan's Guild will not
Theo's
put me up.
unemployed. What's? I just looked this up. Crap.
Wealthy is 2 gold a day, I believe. So 14 gold for the
Wealthy
week.
is 4.
What was the 4?
What's that called? Because I had meant to look this up earlier, but I keep thinking it's upkeep, but it's not upkeep. It's something else.
It's
Style.
between adventures, lifestyle expenses.
Yeah.
I think
Wait.
that's it. Expenses. It might be
Except
expenses.
it's in chapter 5 under equipment. Here we go. Which one are you looking for? So aristocratic.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Expenses.
wealthy.
is
4
one.
gold. Yeah, it's 4 gold. Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
got
look
it.
up the
That's
one
what-
for ramen noodles and stews?
So there is
Modest?
modest. I mean, if you don't want to, yeah, I guess you could just get an inn somewhere if you want to go modest for a gold piece, maybe.
She doesn't need
I
an
would-
inn. She has rooms allotted to her at the college.
I tried to argue that last week.
Well,
you told us no if we
It's
wanna make
also
any
so
connections. We
it's
had
not
to
only
resolve.
room and board. It's also like food, taxes. It's just living within the wealthy part of the city. The room and board is just part of it.
It's
Board
a
is
lot of
food.
mechanical part of the game. It's like part of the economy.
Yeah, it's just part of living a certain lifestyle. I
We
mean,
don't have any gold, Gray, so we're just starving to death.
we're just
I'm sitting here on a lot of money. You could come to the Bank of Donnie.
I don't know that. I'm in my room, dude.
Yeah, you haven't
Generally,
told us
Donnie's
you've
not
been up-
communicated that with
Someday,
anybody.
Donnie
so.
may ask for a favor.
You've been seeing me make. I mean, you guys have been hearing me making money at the.
Donnie's totally like Orc Godfather now.
Oh, that's
gotta
true.
come
We
kiss
have
the
been
ring.
hearing all around town about your exploits, so we probably would know you've been winning.
No, Theo
some
will
point-
live on the street out of
Did
principle.
we literally spend all of the money that we had in the inventory? All of it?
We didn't have much money at
I
all.
don't have that much money.
We spent a lot, but yeah, we didn't have.
We did not have the
time.
gold for the level we are, so we burned through it in an instant.
And also, there's some that's still in char, and there's
No,
some that's like
There's
old world
only
gold.
8. There's only 8 bars of gold in char.
Right, but that's 800 gold. So I mean, it's not like enough to buy the magic items Donnie's been eyeing,
Didn't the
but
group have,
Yeah.
like,
gold.
No.
You could put a couple of us up for a week.
Yeah,
It's just that 70 or 50 gold a week times 6 people, it adds
a lot.
up
Yeah.
for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a major portion of what we have. And
yeah.
again, I mean, we went over this last week, so I don't want to belabor the point. But
Has Donnie been doing the weekly upkeep from the healer shop? Like, I know we wouldn't have the gold in pocket, but Alira would.
Yeah, didn't the group have like 15,000 gold pieces or something?
Something like that.
I mean, we still have quite a bit of gold. We're gonna have spent it by the time these 5 weeks are done, on all the items that Theo's making.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't. Some of us had personal gold, others didn't. So, like Theo and Ivor didn't join until after we killed the dragon, so they didn't have any gold at all. So we gave them some gold. We bought the land. We bought the house in char, and then we have this gold left that we're about to run through completely. And I didn't have any personal gold left really because I spent it all on chalk and magic ink. So we're not, I mean, you might have gold, Donnie.
Well,
Donnie's rich, party's poor.
so yeah, I mean, if you want, you could probably just get a room at one of the inns somewhere and live the modest sum if you're getting that low on money.
I
don't remember how
Why
much-
do I need to go rent an inn?
Like, the inn's not going to have the stuff she needs to work. Like, her study is in the village.
All right, we can.
She's got a cot in the corner of her
Theo
study.
has a tent and rations, so literally he'll sleep on the street.
But no, seriously,
He
I mean,
also has
going-
room.
Yeah, but I got told no, so all my goals.
I'm paying.
I mean,
the
I guess
gold
I
per day,
could get rid
but-
of these lifestyle things and just start collecting taxes and charging you for food and just doing it separately. I just felt like
that
this
would be
a-
so much more micro. I
Yeah.
like the lifestyle setup.
I
so
like
much
the
more.
lifestyle. The problem is
I
that
want the
you're
lifestyle. I
not giving
wanna
us the
reduce it.
option.
Yeah.
You're not giving them Theo and Zalia the option of eating ramen noodles like they want to. Is I think the issue.
Right? Can we not do like modest or poor and just like eat crackers?
Well, we got told
Alright,
we have to
alright,
spend
alright.
a certain amount if we want to make contacts.
Yeah, so
but I don't need
my
to make
literally
contacts.
in the
I'm
rules.
literally
It's about who
writing
are you-
scrolls.
Yeah, it's literally in the rules about who you are hobnobbing with, and
yeah, it's supposed to be like you're buying people lunches, you're doing all these things that you do in a setting of like a high
I mean, we've got-
university.
But I'm not asking for
diamonds
the
worth
benefit.
300 gold, a diamond
Right,
worth 600
right,
gold. We can sell
right.
some of it.
Please,
Yeah.
please, let me talk. I'm not doing any of that. All I'm doing is sitting in my room scribing.
Well, you're going out and buying the inks, and you're still like talking to
I
the
had
people.
He
inks
made the
already. I
inks.
brought
He
them.
made the
With-
inks before we came to the capital.
But you're still. I mean, you're just arguing that you shouldn't be spending gold. Is that the?
I should be be able to choose like a modest lifestyle if I'm not going out and getting the benefit of the aristocratic
All
lifestyle.
right.
That's
So I guess we can say that you wouldn't be having the same amount of contacts. So as long as you're not trying to do any downtime stuff that's hobnobbing, we can get away with
all
it.
for like giving party gold to Ivor, who's out doing that sort of thing, or to Donnie for that matter. But for those of us who are sequestered in just working on crafting, I don't know that. I think we should be able to choose a lower amount.
I'm living in a tent and rations
All right.
that are already bought, so I
Um,
spent all my gold already.
I guess we can just move past it. It's fine.
FYI, I do need to take some of my gold out of the bag of holding in order to pay my expenses. So, FYI, Baldani.
Yes. Well, there's 300 in there of yours, and the
Yeah,
300 still owed back to you. So
yeah, she only needs like what she have like 80 in coin or something in there. She'll take that.
So,
Instead of
I mean,
our-
I'm fine with a comfortable lifestyle, which is between modest and wealthy, which is 2 GP.
All right. So
And
anyway,
not gonna fit.
we can just skip ahead to the Archmage thing. It's fine. I guess sure. Go with the what was it? You can go with the comfortable then. You can go 2 gold a day.
Is it okay to live on the street off of rations?
I'll give you some money from the party inventory.
Well,
Sure.
did you?
I will subtract an extra. What is it?
Were you
20?
able to pay for the week, Theo, or?
No, you took all mine last week when I was trying to argue with the one lifestyle literally describes artisan guild.
All right.
And it was a nope, got to pay for the more expensive one. Took literally everything, and then Ivor had to pay for it.
Let's do a quick 5-minute break. I'll be right back.
So Theo, if you need cash for upkeeps, I can give it to you. I just gave it to
I literally have a 2-person tent and a bunch of rations on me.
I know, but like story-wise, it doesn't make any sense. So
I'm a crazy man.
Also,
Makes
don't we have
perfect sense.
don't we have a bunch of old world gold that we could have smelted?
Oh, we melted it down already.
Oh, I just
in
saw
char.
it in the inventory.
we
Okay.
have gold in the party inventory, but it's just that it's allocated for stuff that's on our list. That's all.
Yeah, you're looking at technically already spent money.
Yeah, that's the thing. And if we have to pay for the tuning fork, which I'm sure we will.
We ran into a few hordes that were preluded. Every horde.
If you're talking about the tuning fork for the Shadowfell, we do not have to pay for that.
Right, because we're getting it for in trade.
It's the trade for taking her with us to the
Yeah.
Shadowfell.
And she offered to help guide us through the Shadowfell, didn't she? Or she talked about being able to guide.
So I mean, if we were all to pay 4 GP a day, it would end up costing us 840 gold as a party.
Per week, right?
For the 5 weeks.
Oh, 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, we gotta get more loot if we want to live the good lifestyle.
I have no problem whatsoever with the remaining bars of Bethas in the bag of holding going to some of our efforts here in the city. I just I only was taking some just to pay my upkeep.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, Nick, the last bit of time.
My objection is just around it being home. It's sort of like if we went to Alma's family or whatever, which I wouldn't think to do, but if Xelia catches wind of the fact that you don't have any gold, Theo, she would send some to you by courier.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay for what is it? You said 700 for 5 weeks. You want me to just pay that and I'll cover all of it?
I think at this point we've already paid 2 weeks.
We've already paid some.
Some of us have paid the third.
Yeah, I could only cover my first week. Ivor covered my second.
I hope I'm not coming off like a jerk. I just feel like one should be able to choose one's lifestyle level.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like, I understand where Lou's coming from, where he's trying to use the game mechanics because they are meant to simplify things. I totally understand, but I also understand where Theo and Zalia are coming from, where they're wanting to choose a different lifestyle, and their characters aren't leaving their rooms, and so I do think that maybe they don't need to be paying for a gold. Like, I know he didn't make us do the 8 like he was initially
Well,
planning.
Comfortable includes choosing a comfortable lifestyle means that you can afford nice clothing and can easily maintain your equipment. You live in a small cottage in a middle-class neighborhood or in a private room at a fine inn. You associate with merchants, skilled tradespeople, and military officers.
Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable.
I think that was the disagreement, though, was that you guys were arguing for nothing, not
No, we weren't
comfortable.
arguing.
You were arguing.
Last week we were arguing for that, and he said no, we had to go for the more expensive one because we're talking to people.
Yeah, and we settled on wealthy, but I don't think comfortable would be that far off.
It is that far off. It's comfortable is 2 GP, wealthy is twice that. And honestly, modest is also, you live in an older part of town, renting a room in a boarding house, inn, or temple. You don't go hungry or thirsty. Your living conditions are clean and simple. Ordinary people live modest lifestyles, include soldiers with families, laborers, students, priests, hedge wizards, and the like.
I feel like modest is. I think modest is too little because
that's a little
we're not
too little for
ordinary
us.
people.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally about to go to a fancy dinner. I mean, that is a part of what we're doing.
And he does
a fancy dinner
in the
that they got to pay for, not us.
And the benefits
when
of
you get invited out, you just assume that the people inviting you out are going to pay for your dinner.
If they're inviting me to their place for a dinner, then yes.
You don't show up with a bottle of wine, some nice things to gift.
I would, yes. Theo would not think about that whatsoever.
Okay.
Like, I'm not trying to argue just to get myself a benefit, Gray. I'm trying to stick to what Theo would go for.
I mean, that's fine, but I mean, I'd also say it'd be perfectly fine for Raven then to have you roll at disadvantage the entire night for offending the guest.
That was a good call. That might be.
Didn't pay the gold that I required you to pay, so now you're getting punished. All right.
We are the guests.
Yeah, you're a guest. I invited you here, but you didn't bring me a gift, so fuck
I think that, I mean...
No, that's the type of thing people get offended by, and they're not as receptive to what you're telling them. Like, that's exactly how it would work.
Powerful do.
Yeah.
Literally, the origin of the phrase "white elephant gift" originates with some prince from I don't know, 1,000 years ago or some shit like that, who would he would give people white elephants that he didn't like because it was so fucking expensive to maintain them and would financially ruin them. And he was notorious for doing this when they offended him when he invited them over. Rich people do all sorts of fucked up shit.
But now, don't you think there might be some sort of draw to meet us? Aren't we at least we're quirky and we've been traveling and we've been fighting crazy things. We've got adventures.
I heard something about rich people doing fucked up shit.
Yeah, we were talking about the origins of white elephant gifts and why they're called that.
Oh. I don't think I'm familiar.
Trivia tidbits that we're all going to value.
You're all going to value. It was, I forget his name. It was some prince in India or something like that who, when you offended him, he would give you an actual white elephant because it was so fucking expensive to keep it alive that it would financially ruin you, and you couldn't let it die because the prince gave it to you. So he just was like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck your finances.
Weren't white elephants really rare?
Oh yeah,
I think so, which is probably why you couldn't let them die.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
They're probably sacred
it's
or
like
something.
If you were
financial warfare type thing, just to troll you.
Yeah, it's like if you were a fucking carpenter or something like that, and somebody gave you a Porsche, have fun. And you're like, I can't fucking pay the car insurance on this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, or land or something with the land tax or property taxes. Anyway, that's fine. We'll say we were saying to do a little bit lesser amount, so maybe comfortable or something for some of you.
Comfortable is fair. We were talking about it.
All right, we'll say maybe comfortable for some of you. So you're heading to the dinner. You got all your stuff paid for the week. So... the Archmage invites you to someplace off campus. It's one of the fancy eateries around town.
What kind of neighborhood is it in?
It's near the actual college. It's it's in the market area around here. Fairly rich, high class area. You go to meet him there. So when you get there, it seems like a lot of the back part of the restaurant has been kind of cleared out, and when you enter, you would see a taller, more muscular-looking man standing at about 6'5", with kind of striking features. He has green eyes and white hair. He smiles as he sees the group and motions you all to come join him, standing up as you approach. He says, "Good evening, friends. You must be the famous Tabula Rasa I've heard quite a bit about from Cornelius."
Would have gone in here. I would have cast Enhance ability on Ivor.
Okay.
With what the fuck is it? The charisma.
Or
Eagle Splendor.
Eagle
Eagle
Splendor,
Splendor.
yeah.
Okay. And you said this is like in a public place, right? So
Yeah,
I'll say
well, it's public, but he's kind of paid to have this large area of the restaurant be cleared, so it's just all
Okay.
of you there. He says,
in that case,
go ahead.
I just want to say I probably have gone in my usual disguise. Then I'm not so nervous about the fallout of anybody.
So you
seeing magic.
are, you're wearing your human disguise.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, hey, come over to my house with the Phoenix Guild.
No, apparently, and it doesn't seem like he has too many people with him, which is kind of surprising. You would think the Archmage would have more security with him.
If you were still in your Ivor face as we walk in, I would turn to you and say, as I cast Enhance ability, I think you should drop that. He very well might have true sight.
Very well. Scratch that. I don't go in as that.
So, all right, sure.
You
So
can do what you want, but
you're in your normal face, he would greet you all. The Raelin man then looks over at Theo and says, Theo Starling, yes,
Master Theo Starling, pleasure to meet you.
and you, sir. And he goes to shake your hand. I've heard good things. Apparently, there is an ancient underground dwarven steam engine that we will have access to shortly, thanks to you. Well, we as in the Artisans Guild and the Phoenix Guild collaborations.
Quite honestly, I am hoping it brings more weight to the Artisans Guild seat on the council, but very glad to bring something that's going to benefit everybody.
Says, well, we all depend on the artisans for their amazing craftsmanship. So I'm sure this will just be another extremely pretty feather in their caps. And he says, come, sit with me. So as you join him, the waiters start bringing food, very fancy and expensive wines.
So this is like a top-notch, like 5-star kind of restaurant?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's probably one of the most fancy places to eat in the city.
So I'm going to say, like, Baitha actually kind of sort of dressed up. Like, she left some of her, like, more raggedy pouches at home. She left her vine belt at home and, like, is actually, like, wearing a real belt. Maybe even she changed into, like, a cleaner wool kirtle or something like that.
Hell yeah.
So as he's pouring himself some wine, taking a sip and eating, he says, I've heard some unsettling rumors, friends, and now that I have you here, I wanted to ask you about them. The phrase how do you say it? The phrase Shadowlord keeps coming up within some of the circles of the city. What can you tell me about that? As I've heard that your group had something to do with that.
I'm going to look over at Ivor.
Okay. I will say. Well, he said he's heard about them. Okay. I'll say. There is much to know about the Shadow Lords. What is it specifically that you have heard in these rumors?
As well, I heard that an entity that was trapped long ago has become freed, and that you all know something about that.
That is correct. When he says that, does he seem curious or like
Accusatory?
pushy?
Already
That's a
informed.
good word for it.
He seems curious, you
Okay.
would guess. And if you want, you can give me an insight check to know more.
Sure.
So far, the only real information is what we've said, right?
Yeah, you would guess that he is more curious. You would guess that he probably knows something already, but maybe is also looking for some confirmation on what he knows.
Sure. So what I'll say then, so I had said that's correct. I'll
Oh,
say
and sorry, that is something that Betha would know, not necessarily all of you.
that he might know something already.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Well, I'll
so then
stay silent for now because obviously I can't. Yeah.
Sure. I'll say that is correct. A Shadowlord did get out of some prison and was dealt with actually shortly before my interaction with the Tabula Rasa. I accompanied them pretty much immediately after their dispatching of him, but in the time that I've been with him, we have learned that this Shadowlord is attempting to reconstitute himself or some such in the Shadowfell, and given enough time, could potentially resurface, potentially stronger than before. Who knows?
Yes, after I heard of the plan to reintegrate Isik, I did some research on some of the things going on down there, as well as sent some spies to look into the happenings, and I found out a little bit about the Shadow Lords and their power sources. I had heard you were planning to go to the Shadowfell to track him down. Is that true?
Well, you are quite well informed. If you don't mind my asking, where does your information come to you from?
He smiles a little and says, "Maybe I mind a little." He says it with a bit of a cheek to his words, and says, "Let's just say I know." And we'll leave it
Fair
at that.
enough.
I have my information channels. Some of them be magic, or some of them magical. Others through informants. I have many friends as the Archmage of the Phoenix Guild.
Very well. What had he asked before that? Oh yeah.
If you
Then I'll
plan to go
respond
to
and
the
I'll
Shadowfell.
I'll respond and I'll say, yes, you are correct in this as well, that we do plan to go to the Shadowfell to meet this threat head on. At least once we have secured a means of getting there and getting back, which we believe the Professor is shortly to figure out. We have, I think, what we need to do so. It's just a matter of time in terms of getting the magic quite right.
Yes, of course. Plains walking can be a bit challenging, for sure. Understandable. Do you have your tuning fork in order and everything else you would need to make the jump?
We do have the tuning forks sorted out, one for here and one for the other plane. However, we remain somewhat unsure of the resources we will need to go there and survive. We have done as much as we can to guarantee our safety, or at least support our safety. But now that you mention it, we were sort of hoping that we could, with your ample resources, bother you for some assistance in this journey.
He laughs and says, "Well, it's true. It's true. I do have resources. I wouldn't say they're always ample, but give me a persuasion check on that."
Okay.
And he
You said it.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. He would what?
He would just joke that his resources aren't always as ample as he'd like them to be, and yeah, give me a persuasion, just in general, which I think you have advantage on.
I do, because you did Eagle Splendor, right? Okay.
18.
Let's do. This seems like maybe a good time for.
All right, so you put a little ding on that.
Ding.
As your teeth sparkle a bit. He says, "Well, what is it that you need exactly, or do you think you need? I can tell you firsthand that the Shadowfell is a extremely dangerous place. The elves there have a very strange way of doing things. The Shadowkai.
I would just raise my eyebrow without saying a word at him
He
talking about the strange nature of the Shadowkai.
he says, no offense, of course, friend. It's just well, it's just fascinating how much different the Shadow Elves run their societies versus our High Elves and Forest Elves here. It's like night and day. I guess some similarities, but very, very much more communal than the trades or the capitalistic ventures we have here. I suppose it works for them, but the cities themselves are set up on old relics that help protect the settlements from the draining powers of the Shadowfell. So you have to be very careful while outside the bastions there. It's a very dangerous landscape that will slowly drain your life force if you're not careful.
Do you know of some way to deal with such an effect?
Just be careful about how long you stray from the settlements. There are also protection spells one can do. I am not well versed in those. Usually, the Shadowfell elves, they have access to those sorts of rituals, and they can help you get set up with the correct protections. Just something to be aware of.
Very well. This is valuable information. Perhaps we will seek out some Shadowkai once we get there and see if this is something that they can assist us with. In terms of anything specific we were hoping that you might help us with, we do have, as you might expect, a long list of magic items which we think would be valuable, and we were wondering if any of those would be something that you might have the ability to garner for us. Either that, or, as was Theo's suggestion, we may also benefit from having an introduction to the council. We think that perhaps a issue of this magnitude might be something worth bringing to their attention.
Yeah, it probably would be, though I'm not sure how much help you're going to get from the council. Be that as it may, I can give me a persuasion check again. He says, Are you looking to speak to the council as a whole or one of the ruling families? I do have allies on the council. It's very hard to get a private meeting with them, though. I mean, as a group.
I imagine it would be. They are, as I assume, quite busy most of the time. I would say that if you have allies yourself on the council, it may be then most effective to leverage those relationships more than attempting to set up some grandiose thing.
He says, well, I do have... I am friends with Patience Blackwater. I believe she currently holds the second seat.
Wait, is that the sister of Blackwater or the
That's
mom?
No, that's the mom.
Yeah, that's the mother.
If only we had Blackwater with us.
We did save his life.
Yeah.
So she might be... I might be able to get you a meeting with her. Tifia is extremely hard to get a meeting with. Tifia Avenhart, the high seat of the council. But Patience is second, so I think she might be a good... Lady Patience. She might be a good person to talk to, at least to start with. Maybe she can get your matter heard by the council as a whole.
Was the other one Avenhart?
Yes, Tifia Avenhart is the...
Any chance there's a relation?
No, that family line split long ago.
Okay.
where the H's, we don't trifle with the non-H's.
One got to keep the H, the other one got the council seat.
Yeah.
Is
The
there a
H was
different
the-
Avonheart?
I'm
Zolly
an
There's
Avonheart.
Havenheart.
Oh, Havenheart.
Okay. In response, I would probably say, I think that would be quite beneficial, and I think if even considering it, I think that having the opportunity to speak to the second on the council would be incredibly valuable indeed.
All right. Of course. Well, it sounds like it sounds like this travel might be of particular importance. This journey you're making, if you are dealing with the Shadowlords,
It will potentially stop more Issex from happening.
indeed, and we don't need something like that happening again.
This fellow, is he like high up on in the military side of the, like, do we have familiarity with his name? Is he like a CIA bureau chief sort of situation?
Give me a history check.
May I do that too?
Yeah.
Anybody trained?
And in general, you just might get different information.
Oh no, I did bad.
So,
I don't pay
Zalia,
attention much.
you know that the highest, or at least the most powerful faction of the school, of the Phoenix Guild, is probably more the academic side. It's sort of a mix of academic minds and nobility. Generally, the top wizard is someone who has influence and power, so he might not know the exact reasons why this particular archmage was chosen, but generally, yeah, it's kind of a combination of wealth and magic abilities.
Thing more is this person sort of like the difference between being like a diplomatic or CIA, like, is this person involved in sort of the draconian political and military maneuvering side of the Phoenix
Might be
Guild
both.
operations?
So he is more, not really as much military, more studious, like more magic research and development.
Ooh!
More study. The Phoenix Guild
the
isn't
mage.
actually part of the Teruvian army. They're almost like a separate wing.
Yeah,
Like-
but you said they have a mage hunter wing and they
Yes.
are enforcers of magic use and all that. That's what I'm trying to get at.
So that is actually one of the less, I don't want to say popular, but lower factions of the Phoenix Guild, the military or the militant like mage hunter one. Like even
Lower power?
yeah, like they're seen as useful, but even the other wizards don't really like the mage hunters. There's almost like a bit of a stigma that you're hunting your own kind.
And they're
Right.
kind of fanatical from what we've observed. Or is that the case?
Well, Mal mellowed out a whole lot after a couple weeks.
Yeah, he was.
Somehow his personality changed, like like his puppeteer changed or something.
Sorry,
They certainly can be fanatical, because there is a lot of fear behind magic, especially magic that's unchecked and unknown. But they also, the higher ups in the guild realize that they serve a purpose.
But what Zelia's trying to get at is, is there a direct line from this guy to those folks? She's looking out for Ivor, she's looking out for Baldani, like she's
Oh,
she's
you
concerned
mean
about how,
like, is he gonna sell them out or something?
yeah, or just maybe take too close of an interest in what we're
Report
doing.
them.
Yeah.
Send some eyes.
Probably not. One of the bad things about the mage hunters is that they don't always make the rules apply to the rich. Like if a noble or a wizard has enough money, they usually can get away with doing things they're not supposed to. So you imagine that unless he feels someone in your group is a threat to him, he's probably not going to cause the group any trouble just because they're not registered. Like, he might not even care.
All right. Thank you.
He could probably help get people registered if someone was interested in that. But yeah, you don't think he's going to care if you have non-registered magic users in your group.
So we
At
get
least at
Ivor,
this
we
Get
give him a
registered, right?
cloak.
Sorry, what? I missed that.
Warlocks can't even get registered, though, right?
They can. They don't generally because they don't have the money or the connections, but they certainly can. Anyone can get registered. Like, they're not going to turn you
You have to
away.
pay to be registered?
No, you just go talk to them, and they kind of test you out, see what your abilities, like kind of where you're at with your powers, and then give you the little handbook of what you can and can't do, and give you your papers.
Doing
No
so,
summoning
you're
eldritch beings.
revealing.
Sorry,
Right.
what?
Sorry.
Yeah, and yes, that's the big thing. You're revealing to them that you are,
Yeah.
and you would know that that's the main reason that they want you to do it, is so they know who has magical abilities and what those magical abilities are. It's more for their way of tracking, like where the dangers could possibly be.
Risk to reveal yourself in order to try to be registered. If the answer is no, then you risk imprisonment or death.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Just checking.
It is. We are in a unique situation with having some money and having reputation. The chances of getting registered without complications is higher.
All
As
right.
bourgeoisie.
So,
Can I?
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I know I did the one insight check like when he first started talking, but about like where he got his information. But just over the course of this whole conversation, and you can tell me if this would have been one roll or multiple. Can I just kind of watch for and kind of get a feel for, try to get a feel for whether or not it continues to just be he's heard some things and he's curious and he's just looking to gain info and make connections, or if there's any point during this conversation with Ivor where the Archmage shows any indication of ulterior motives or extra interest in a particular comment, or I don't know. I was just assuming
Sure.
that Betha was just kind of listening. She's like eating, she's drinking, she's partaking of the yummy food, but
Sure.
that's kind of what she was watching for.
Give me another insight check. There definitely are other things you could learn as you talk.
I love
to
that
him.
Betha's enjoying the high life and like I've still got my ears open.
Oh no!
Can you
Damn, this wine is really good.
Yeah.
can you luck
you-
yourself?
I don't think.
No.
No.
Oh yes, I can.
Can you?
I
Oh
need
wait,
D20.
that's right. You
Yeah.
can
I need
do it.
D20.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, thank you.
She had to take something
Theo.
special to make it to where she
Yeah.
could do it to other
Yeah, I
people.
think naturally halflings get that, and they can take the
Yep.
feet where they can do other
That's
people.
true.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
I
that's
was
just
like,
it.
the
I'm
feet
not
definitely
supposed
doesn't.
to. Yeah, I'm not even supposed to roll on that one as a halfling. Yeah. Okay, let me do
Well, you
one
could
more.
re-roll and get another nat one. All right, well.
Hey,
I could, yeah.
So yeah, you get some info talking to this guy. You definitely think he has an eagle splinter cast on himself. You also think he is using magics that kind of mask some of his reactions a bit, because it's harder to read him than you feel like it would usually be for a normal non-magical
They
person.
kind of like tone down his like facial movements.
Exactly.
Like he just got Botox.
Something about him is making it harder for you to
He's
read
got
him.
magical poker face.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But there's no point where I notice particular interest or any kind of deviation from just pretty much calm, cool, like curiosity and conversation.
Yeah, he's definitely at least putting off a very laid back exterior for someone who's like an archmage. You would expect a more like stuffy book person, but he seems fairly charismatic and political. I don't know if political is the right word, but
No, that's fair.
so yeah, you're all kind of eating and speaking. He would look to Donnie at one point and say, "Friend, I'm noticing some of your tattoos, and they make me curious. I could swear I know them from somewhere."
I was in the pits earlier, and you probably saw me there. Everybody's seen me there. I'm pretty popular.
No, it's not pit fighting. Where
Are you
exactly?
not a fan?
Not usually. It's not one of my indulgences. I spend more time in the library than in the pits, but
Come down sometime. It's really entertaining.
yeah, perhaps. But no, I feel like those tattoos. I know those tribal markings from somewhere. Where are you from?
You can make me look shit up, Lou.
Everyone has to look stuff up today.
The I don't know. You know that. I mean, it's your world. You know the caves. What's that? What would Donnie refer to that area as? I think you told me.
I mean, it's called the Deep.
Yeah, the deep. Yeah.
So you say you're from the Deep?
I would say. Yeah, I'm from. It's pretty far away from here. It's. You probably don't know it too well unless you read a lot.
Oh, yes, I definitely read a lot, my friend.
Oh yeah, what's your favorite book?
Well, and he starts kind of spouting off some philosophy books and some magic books, like just a whole bunch of different books.
Sorry. Okay, so yeah, Donnie would eventually say he would say yeah, it's from a long way around. Kind of. Well, it's you know what the deep is?
Says, "Oh yes, I am very much aware of the Deep."
That's where I'm from.
Says, "So you recently lived in the Deep. The emergence was close to 200 years ago.
That sounds about right from a timeline standpoint.
Are you 200 years old then, or more than that?"
No, I'm only about 30.
So did you recently travel to the surface? I didn't know there were still surface folk down there. Though I suppose, yes, I suppose there are probably groups that don't know about the cataclysm being done.
Yes, I definitely it's new for me being on the surface. That's definitely a part of it. Kind of
Interesting.
complicated. Do you know a guy named Tyr? Kind of a god, kind of a big deal.
Says I am familiar with Tyr on a passing in a passing way. Yes.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He kind of set me up to come here and help these guys out and set some balance in this world because the Shadowlords that you were talking about, they really out of balance, and so yeah, I'm not from around here.
It's interesting. Very interesting. I'm still thinking I know those tattoos from somewhere, but I just can't place it.
Which one? Shows off like 4 or 5 of them. He's got like one on his chest, a couple on his arms. You know, this one's pretty cool.
So he points at your tribal marking that identifies the tribe you came from.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. That's my group. Most of the guys here don't know much about it.
What? Well, I guess, and you can tell me if I'm being too curious, but I was just wondering what your tribe was called.
So most of our tribes were kind of known by leaders of the groups and so most of them would be known by me.
And your name is Donnie, yes?
Yep, that's my name.
Interesting. No, I can't place it, but it's fine.
I hear there's good books about it in the library, but
oh yes, there are books about the Deep for sure. Our peoples have spent many years there over the millennia of our existence. About half of our time existing there and half on the surface.
I'll be honest, I killed some of them, but that's not here or there. It's been a long time ago.
Yes, I'm sure there have been misunderstandings between the barbarian tribes and the Empire, but hopefully that's all past us now.
Yeah, my tribe's not around anymore, I don't think.
Well, you have my condolences. I'm sure they were good people.
They were.
So, yeah, he would continue to talk. Are there any other topics you want to bring up with him?
When we asked him about the potential for assistance with like magical items, what was his response? I don't know if he said that or not.
Were you asking him if you could have magical items or just buy them? What was your question exactly?
I don't think I was specific.
Or rent.
Rent magical
He
items.
mentioned looking for assistance.
Yeah, he said, "What kind is there?" Well, he asked us if we had everything we needed, and I said, "Well, we have the tuning forks, etc." But as you might expect, we're always on the lookout for magical items. So if there's anything that you know about that, or any that you have, I don't think that I said buy or have,
Yeah.
but if you had
There's a
access to any, we would be willing to probably
Theo
explore.
would probably chime in on that and say specifically there's a book we're looking for called Tome of Clear Thoughts.
You and everyone else.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
very difficult to come by and stuff, but if
As
somebody's
well. Tome of Clear Thought. Is that the intelligence one?
yes,
The
Yeah,
wisdom.
that's definitely like you and everyone else. Oh wait, yeah. So intelligence. He would say the tomes, the power tomes, those ones that increase your ability to think and perceive, and those sort of tomes are older magics. There isn't actually known ways of replicating a lot of those, at least not within the guild.
the guild needs more funding then.
We have used up ones in our library, but we don't have any with a fresh charge, unfortunately. Those usually end up getting used pretty quick when the charge comes available. We also have other magical items in our stores, but we don't generally sell or give those away. However, there is somewhat of a private exchange that goes on between nobles and powerful merchants. I do have some contacts that could possibly help you if you're looking to buy or sell some of your magical items within the city.
Is there a renting program for those about to go into another plane of existence to help save everybody?
Not that I know of, unfortunately. It's mostly just the more rich and powerful, the elites, trading them for status and just to kind of flaunt their wealth to their neighboring nobles. I think most of the people that trade in them don't even use them, unfortunately.
Do them lots and lots of good once this place has been razed to the ground by Shadowlords.
Yes, well, hopefully it does not come to that. Though, yes, as I said, I could help find you some contacts if you're looking to do some trade, though that sort of thing usually takes a while to get set up. So if you have the time, I can help you look for things.
I'm afraid that we don't really have anything to trade at this point.
Still,
Not currently, no.
the
But
contact
yes.
couldn't hurt. Should we
And
find anything, we can always hopefully pursue a trade later.
we
I'm
do
afraid.
have something that we do have one exploration mission that we have to do before we go to the Shadowfell. Might be chances to get things there.
That's true. Connections are never a bad thing. We may not have anything to trade right now, but there's no harm in having more ways to trade later.
Indeed.
He says, well, and it doesn't, yes, exactly, and I can always introduce you to those people later. It doesn't have to be right away. It seems like the magical item exchanges are almost a weekly phenomenon with different items appearing and disappearing from week to week. So I can always get you set up later and see what's for sale on the markets.
That would be amazing.
All right. Any?
Aaron is probably the one to speak with. He's rather accomplished in those areas.
Who is that?
Master Chernin.
Oh yes.
Ivor.
Yeah. Of course. And yes, Ivor or Master Chernin, whichever you prefer. If you wish to come speak with me, I can give you those contacts and help you. And of course, I can get you set up with Lady Blackwater to have a meeting.
Very well. We would be grateful for both of those opportunities.
Do you know anything about the Blackwaters? I'm curious if you know anything about her relationship with her son.
Oh, which son?
Her youngest.
Callan.
He's the youngest.
Oh, Galen Blackwater. I know that he is a bit of a recluse. I believe he's somewhere on the western side of the Empire right now. Less of a political figure and more of a researcher. Possibly would have
We
made
have,
a.
we
Yeah.
have made his acquaintance, but I was curious as to whether or not she had a good relationship with him.
Um,
It is her baby boy.
as far as I know, they are on all right terms. I know that rumor has it that she had sent him away to keep him out of all the political machinations of her family. But as for their personal relationship, I don't really know. I'm sorry.
That's alright, I was just curious. Gossip, you know.
Indeed. So is there anything else you want to talk with him about?
Ever heard of an airship? Not really doing that.
He
I don't
says,
think
do you actually say that?
Yes, if it won't take a whole bunch of time, I don't want to take up people's time, but Theo would definitely be like, you seem interesting. I have an interesting idea.
One of our actually funny you should mention that. A few weeks ago, a ship came in that claimed they spotted a flying ship somewhere to the north of here.
What?
Someone beat you to it, I've
Theo would hardcore just slap the table, hop up. What?
What the baby doing?
He nods and
We need to go
says, all right, screw this Shadowlord thing. We're going north. He says, yes, unfortunately, we don't have much information on who they were or what their purpose was, but it wouldn't surprise me if other emergent empires have different technologies from ours. I mean,
It's,
after...
Theo's just in the wrong fucking empire.
Yeah.
I'm born in the wrong empire, the wrong age. It's all wrong.
He says, after the emergence, several groups of people came up in all different parts of the world from the deep, so... there could be another group of another empire out there that already has the technology. In fact, now that we've seen these flying ships, I would probably bet on it. It's an interesting concept. I don't see why someone wouldn't just use teleportation, but you know.
Well,
Perhaps they are not magically gifted.
Yeah, perhaps.
it
yes.
would help with, instead of caravans or steam engines, have another form of transportation. Also, potentially, sail it into another plane of existence.
Yes, indeed. I suppose it would be ideal for moving large amounts of supplies and troops, perhaps.
There's one other thing you might be able to help us with. I understand you're a very accomplished mage.
I do what I can, yes.
I wonder if I wouldn't be able to ask you for some help in the manner of spell copying, or rather trading, because I have accomplished some quite advanced magics myself.
So you're looking to trade spells among spell books?
Yeah.
He says, I might be able to, I suppose it would depend on what you have. I do have a pretty extensive collection, both from trade and from some amounts of venturing and study, but there's always a chance you have something I don't. We can talk about that after. You can give me a list of what you're looking for, and I'll see what you have and see if we can trade something. After dinner, I'll have my people draw something up for you.
They're real.
What's real? Oh, you're still on the airship thing.
Theo's gonna be on the airship thing for a bit.
He's never coming down.
What?
It's real.
It's like midnight. The restaurant's closed. He's still just standing there or sitting there,
Just staring off into space.
Staring off into space. All right. So yeah, is there anything else you want to talk with the Archmage about? All right. So I will say that the dinner passes.
Oh.
Yeah.
How much might a ancient power crystal be worth?
You're asking him?
If he would by chance know any information on that.
He looks at you curiously and says, "Ancient power crystal. What exactly are you referring to?"
One of the lost technologies of cycles past. There are supposed to be these little crystals that can hold a lot of power. The Shadowlords are trying to.
Arcane crystals is what he's talking about.
Oh.
Yes. Shadowlords are trying to.
Those
Copy them.
are extremely valued. Do you have one?
I do not have one on me, unfortunately, but it is
Well-
something.
Zelia pulls the bag of holding a little closer to her.
He says they are unique in their. I mean, empires in the past, some empires didn't even have them. If you have one, you could probably get almost anything you'd want for it in trade. I don't know of anyone within the empire that currently has one.
Start looking at legendary items, gang.
About
Right.
ones that are created with rather darker magic. Do you know of anyone who trades in those sorts of things? I'm curious because we did see quite a few shards and broken things when we were in Isik. It's evident that the Shadowlords were trading in that sort of magic. Is there any sort of?
Give me.
In fact, I
give me-
believe these are. I believe these are the that you are somewhat familiar with.
You kind of broke up there. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying earlier in the conversation with him, he had
Yeah.
definitely made mention of some sort of crystal when he was talking about the Shadow Lords. So I was just saying these would be the ones which he is already a little bit familiar with.
Did he mention the crystals? I don't remember that.
I thought he did, like
Well-
super briefly.
He didn't mention crystal, but he mentioned a unique power source. I think.
Yes,
That's what
he did say something about a power source.
All right, I'll
So I guess I had
remember that, but
assumed that he was. That's what he was talking about. But I
give
could be
me
wrong.
a persuasion check, Zalia and Ivor. So you might actually see him look a little bit uncomfortable when you're talking about that. And he says, "Well, strictly hypothetical, a crystal formed of necromancy through a forbidden."
Obviously, it would be for academic purposes.
Yes, only for academic purposes, something like that. You would probably find a buyer, but there are members of the Crimson
Dagger's coming for you.
Crimson Dagger who might have some questions about how you acquired something like that. So I don't know if it would even be worth trading in such things. It could even sully your reputation. Lots of
Indeed.
taboo behind necromancy, as there always has been. Sometimes unwarranted, sometimes very warranted.
When he
Just
says
if I don't have
taboo,
anything like that.
when he says taboo, does it seem like he has? Man, how would I describe this? Like sometimes people say things are bad, and they believe it, and sometimes people say things are bad, and they're referring to a social stigma that it's bad. Can I attempt to gauge whether or not he has a personal philosophy about necromancy? I don't know.
I mean, you could ask him about. Well, I mean, just from looking at him, I guess you can give me an insight check from what he said.
He did say some of it's rightfully taboo, some of it's not
Yeah,
rightfully.
so with a 16, you probably couldn't read too much off of him, especially with the magic he has going.
All right.
20. Yeah, you'd probably get the. Well, from how he said it, Betha and
Oh,
Beldani,
Betha!
you almost think he's probably more tolerant of necromancy than many of the other wizards. As in, he might see the value in it. Just by the way he said sometimes warrants, whereas many would just say necromancy's bad.
Yeah.
I like him.
You'd probably have to ask him to get more knowledge out of him, more info out of him.
Well, I'm very interested in trying to stop something from that ever being developed again. Like try and develop ways to resist the effects in case we do fail with dealing with the Shadowlords.
You telling him this?
This is Theo being Theo, talking out loud with his thought process.
He says, well, there are definitely magical wards one can use to protect themselves from necromancy and necrotic energies. But
oh yes, I'm thinking about once we're in the Shadowfell, how much stronger it might be.
Yeah, and he would say the problem with the Shadowfell is it is a long period of time one would be exposed, so you would probably be looking more for the rituals that they cast to protect their travelers and caravans, which do exist there. It's just not something that outsiders always have access to.
I wonder, Archmage, as you connect Master Chen in with people who might be willing to trade magical items, if you could also put him in touch with anyone who might be willing to purchase an arcane crystal should we come across one.
Purchase? You would probably... He says trading would probably be the better route, as the amount of money one would pay for one of those could be staggering.
You could buy the Artisans Guild.
You could perhaps buy the city.
Well, I don't know if I'd go as far as buy the city, but it would be a lot of gold, and you'd probably, as with most magical items, you're better off trading item for item.
You know people who have items that are of a high enough quality that they would be worth such a thing.
Oh, Dragon Vessel.
Yeah, I mean,
This is not a subtle, like...
He says, of course, I can put you, like I said, I can put you in contact with people that do the trades, and that should help you find what you're looking for. But, yeah, trading is always a bit of a gamble, because it's hard to find the items you're looking for. It's possible, but not always. Alright, so anything else, or are we good?
Just want to look at, I want to do the spell thing. He specifically mentions you can teleport wherever you want if you don't have an airship, blah blah blah. So I want to know if he's got teleport. And also Rary's telepathic bond.
You're mentioning those particularly to him?
So I'm not getting greedy, Lou. Those are the two that I'm interested to know if he has.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't mind flipping through his spell book for sure, but...
So, yeah, you'd probably just say, I most likely have access to them. But like I said, we can discuss that after the dinner. If that's alright.
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking...
Oh, what's going on afterwards?
Right.
So the one thing I was actually rolling for, and towards the end of the dinner, he says, Chief
Why didn't you
Wamanok.
bring me a bottle of wine?
Hey.
Oh!
It was driving me crazy. You are Chief Wamanok, aren't you?
Donnie
He
has a
looks at
last
Donnie.
name.
Yeah, no, Donnie just kind of looks at him for a minute. Yeah, that's me.
He says,
What?
I read a very compelling book about you a few months back, and I remember reading about the symbols of your tribe. That's why they looked so familiar to me. How are you here? Or are you a relative or ancestor of Chief Wamanok?
Descendant.
Descendant. Yeah, not
That's
ancestor.
me. That's me. You know, told you about Tyr, and part of my agreement with him was coming here.
My word, are you a time-traveling orc barbarian?
Barbarian isn't a very nice thing to call someone.
That's
It's
what
known
what
as-
book did you read?
We like to be called angry people.
Paper smashes.
Donnie's not offended by being called a barbarian.
It was a joke.
He is going to take out a small bag, put his hand over it and think, and a book would pop out, and he would show it to you. And it is the same book that you read recently. A copy of it.
I just got a copy of that book. I hope it's good. I wasn't sure if I knew it had me in it, but I hadn't read it yet.
It says, yes, it was quite a compelling story, actually. I very much
See that?
enjoyed... Sorry,
I'll
what?
hold out my hand. May I see that? I'm gonna hold out my hand.
Yes, of course. And he would hand you the book.
Thank you very much.
Got him!
What is the book called, Donnie?
Sure. Since Celia now has it, she can read the title. She can't necessarily read the full book just here. I'm not assuming she's it's not.
I'm a
She-
very fast
she
reader,
is-
sir.
In Orcish.
Just speed
Oh,
reads
it's
right
not
through it.
Written by my other human character.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if
Oh,
you
that
wouldn't
is
mind.
awesome, Gray.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind if I borrowed this for a night or two.
Oh,
Promise
yes.
to return it.
I trust you.
So the
Thank you
book
so much.
is. So this is the full title of the book. This is Nathaniel Ben's Great History on the Restful, also known as the Odd, as told by the great Nathaniel Ben in iambic pentameter, including stories of Chief Warmanock, as interpreted by the noted Nathaniel Ben.
It's definitely
So the
quite...
author put his name in the title multiple times.
Three
Apparently.
times.
You gotta be real technical. With
I want to
that.
meet this other
If you
character.
knew the character, you would understand.
And that is my other character is Nathaniel Ben.
That is great, Gray. That is fucking wonderful.
Just rolling my eyes when I see the iambic
Just-
pentameter part, and then put it
Roll,
into
just
my
rolls
bag.
right off the tongue. So
The group calls, much like I give you guys a hard time about calling us the Table Smasher, the group calls themselves the Odd. Since the first two sessions I with them had multiple long rests in them, I have started referring to them as the Restful, hence the title.
Restful Odd.
Hell yeah.
But yes,
Awesome.
it's very strange that I would meet you here, Chief. That's
Bonnie's
interesting.
These guys don't really know my history there.
Oh, we will. We will.
Well, it seems you have had quite a few adventures.
Quite a bit.
You existed around the time of the last cataclysm, didn't you? Or was it after? I might be getting confused.
I believe it was just after. Right, Lou?
Yes. So interesting, you saw the end of the last empire.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
There was some stuff going down back then. It
There's
was,
some shit happening.
Heavy.
It's pretty
Heavy.
crazy. The sky was on
Exactly.
fire. Everyone was burning.
Orcs
Wait.
and humans didn't exactly
It's
get
like
along.
Orc Noir.
Donnie,
Yeah.
did you actually see the end of the last cycle?
I believe. Well,
Or would you have gone underground at that point?
I would have been underground. I lived
Okay.
underground the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. You didn't see the surface until you started.
Until I transported.
I think you're, if I remember right, when you were a baby, you were brought underground, so you technically were above ground for a very small period of time.
Yeah, that's right.
But you don't remember that.
Yeah, and then Zelia would read. Well, Zelia, I'll tell you more when you read.
So he would say, well, it was fascinating meeting all of you. I do hope we get to do this again. We'll be in touch about those spells and your contacts if you wish to do some trading. But yes, as I said, I hope we can speak again in the future.
It has been a pleasure.
Fast. You happen to have a horn of blasting?
You know,
Fingers crossed.
We might. I'll be actually give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Sure.
Nice. Nice.
With your exploits.
Get him, get him, get him, get him!
No!
Can
We
we,
know that. What are you
No.
doing over there?
Oh, yes, you can.
Vaitha yells at you for some reason. It's very random.
That's not how you talk to people.
Flash of genius? Add 40 or 16?
Hey.
Alright, sure. So, yeah, alright, so Vaitha yells at you, and I don't know what Theo does. I guess he yells at you some more. Somehow
He
the
corrects his
Archmage is
grammar.
very impressed by all this.
I always
Really?
imagine kind of like Theo gives other people Jimmy Neutron brain blasts, or the
Yeah,
neurons in the head just fire off more.
we'll go with that. Pew. Alright, so he says, I'll see what I can do, Chief Wamanock. Perhaps we have something that can help you.
Well, the other thing you can do is we got the arm wrestling going down, and can always use some sponsors if you want to, back some people up. We can get some advertising out there for you.
It's the 1157 arm wrestling finals brought to you by the Phoenix Guild.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I'm not sure what you mean by advertising, but I'll definitely mention it to some of my friends who are more vested, have a more vested interest in the underground physical activities. All right, so he would finish up dinner, bid you all good evening, and I assume you're all just going to take off and go your separate ways.
Dude, Donnie, Neil might be interested in sponsoring that.
Oh yeah.
Does Neil have money?
Oh yeah. He invested the money he got from
He
the
got,
vault.
well, remember, yeah, he got a bunch of money from the vault because you guys split that money.
And whenever he got here, he said that he invested and did well for himself. So
Yeah,
sugar daddy.
he's
Apparently not so well that he's above robbing
Right?
nobles, however.
Neil
well,
also
that
seems
was
like the type
that was for fun. Yeah,
Neil
that
could
was
be a
more.
millionaire and still, be like,
I
no, this
mean,
is fun.
It's a regular Thomas Crown.
Yeah, he more does it for sport. He's pretty well off. He'll still rob noble people. Doesn't mean he
Stick
likes
to the
noble
system.
people. Exactly. Stick to the man. All right.
Well, that, and he got to do it with Baldani,
And yeah, and just hang out.
Aw.
So I guess that would mostly. I think that concludes the third week.
think
Now,
so.
yeah.
I actually do have a question about the end of week 2. I forgot that we had it had happened between sessions. I think that Zalia has acquired Legend Lore, and I'm still
Yes.
extremely curious about the Ring of
You were
Warmth.
gonna let me know about that so that I could read it for him, but we didn't get it.
Do we want to say that can be another event that happened during the third week?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So what were we legend loring?
The Ring of Warmth that was gotten from the room with God, what's his name, Cordis?
You told me that there was more to it than simply a ring of warmth, but we needed Legend Lore to know.
Turns out it's a curse.
Can't take it off. Me.
I feel like you would have figured that out by now.
Well, I haven't tried to take it off.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
let me consult my notes about that.
If it also works as a ring of mind shielding, I am so jealous.
Also, just like as we're leaving dinner, like after we're alone again, like the party is, without our company. Betha would share her observations about the Archmage and his magic, that he seemed to be enchanted to be more charismatic, and that he might have also had some sort of enchantment to make him keep a cooler demeanor, but that he did show particular interest. When you mentioned, was it arcane crystals? What was it that he piqued his interest?
Well,
Yes.
when we mentioned shadow crystals, he got a little
The
uncomfortable.
shadow crystals, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she would just kind of share some of her observations, because she kind of stayed silent during the transaction. She would share everything that you guys heard. She observed.
Okay, so she kind of gives her insight afterwards.
Yeah. Yep.
Noted.
Val definitely is going to try and get that contact info from Ivor about who has magic items for trade, and I think work with Neil to see which one would be most valuable to,
Target.
take off their hands.
Let me know if you see an animated shield.
Oh lord.
Or a dragon vessel. Hey, 1 hour a day of dragoniness? That sounds amazing.
Does it?
Dragoniness.
Yeah, be dragon for an hour a day.
I figured. I was just appreciating the term.
Trogdor was a dragon.
Remind me, because I'm not seeing it in my notes. Remind me where exactly you got the ring.
Specifically, we got it from the room that Cordis was in with the pentagram on the ground, which he claims he did not summon a Nabasu out of, which I call bullshit on in hindsight. We definitely know that it provides resistance to cold as a ring of warmth would, but also that there was, because we used identify on it, and Azalea felt like there was something else, that some latent power that it had.
Oh, okay. I kind of
say-
remember this. I think the reason I'm not finding this is it was because before I transferred my notes. I may have lost some of this information. So ring of warmth.
You were pretty sneaky and close to the vest about how mysterious this ring was and how we would need legend lore to find out the rest at the time.
Yeah. It definitely had the hidden power. It's starting to come back to me. I just wasn't finding it in my notes.
I can give you some more time, and Theo can start describing his armor.
Sure, describe your armor while I work on this.
Iron Man!
All right. So I've been working towards something for myself along for everybody else. This is a long, arduous project I've been working towards damn near my entire life. Theo will reach into the bag of holding with the arm that's missing most of it, and then whenever he pulls his arm out, you can see a green and brass looking claw where his arm would be. He holds it out, and you see what looks like a dragon's claw. The scales from that start spreading out across his body, following the lines of metal that he's put into his skin, and forms what looks like the outside of, I think it's brass dragon, and patches of green from the adamantine and brass looking or copper looking bits mixed in, and helmet comes up, forms around his head. It looks like that of a dragon's face, and he has this like 4-inch metal collar going around his neck to where if he gets the shit rocked out of him, his head doesn't go flying too far back, and has this what looks like a metal slab on his left shoulder. He grabs that, slides it down to his hand, and it spreads out to where he has a shield there now. Still has the grip down like a normal shield and everything, can be ripped out. Just cool flavor for how he stores his shield.
My dear, that's quite impressive.
Almost a dragon. Thank you very, very much. And you would also... He's not channeling magic right now, but in the future when he starts channeling magic, you'd see like a purplish energy start pulsing underneath the scales.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very, very nice workmanship.
It is my crowning achievement. Until I make an airship.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's your crowning achievement, but it's quite lovely.
I'm quite impressed.
It's years of work coming together, and y'all's help to finally get the funds needed for the proper materials to make this in the first place. So thank all of you for helping me accomplish this.
Quite well.
done.
So sorry, I was just writing up the thing I'm going to give Zalia about this.
Ooh, she gets to know the information and Ivor doesn't.
She is the one who has legend lore.
Now the secrets are on the other shoe.
I hate it. This is what it feels like. This is
I
the
will
worst.
say, other Zelia in the other game has been known to hold back important information. Right, David?
True.
Does it regard
What?
knowledge of ice devils?
No, but there might have been a rapier of warning that was not fully explicated.
That was not fully what?
Explicated.
Ow.
Yep.
Our
giving,
lazy bard.
Giving the lazy bard a sword that would wake him up every time someone approached without telling him that that's what it would do.
I love it.
That is wonderful.
So did you already spend the ingredients you need to spend?
Hold on a minute.
So the one that has,
I know we
like,
preemptively
ivory
picked up
strips.
enough for at least one casting of it.
I think it was a couple castings. I want to say like
We can
4.
use-
that was the
yeah.
recipe.
Yeah, if you're
Oh.
spending the casting, I
Yes.
will.
So, oh yeah, instance. Yes. And
I
we
will-
have the ivory strips. Yes.
All right. So yeah, there's the ivory strips that are not expended, but there's also the I think
Yeah,
gold
I have
piece
a-
amount.
I have
Yep.
a fuck ton of incense because somebody
Fuck
kept
ton.
killing my poor little owl.
Okay, so go ahead and spend that, and I will.
I'm actually probably going to use the arcane
Components.
that you sent me to trade. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use those instead if you want.
will.
So go ahead and spend that, and I will send you secrets.
You may as well do the one for Bad Axe as well because I'm going to do that too. So.
All right. Well, let's see what you do with this information first.
It's not bad axe, it's dumb axe.
It's
Right.
Arcthane.
Oh, correction there. So that's what you find out when you legend lore the ring.
Now everyone is very curious.
Oh dear.
What?
Okay.
Knowledge
Alright.
is responsibility, Zalia.
It
There you
is
go.
indeed.
The responsibility of knowledge
You
is to spread
wanted
it to
the
everybody.
spell. Now you get to know things.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, definitely gonna think on this knowledge.
All right. And you said you want to do dumb axe as well.
Uh huh.
All right.
You can send that to me at a later date, and I'll share it the next time. Or well, actually, you know what? That I probably will just share with the group right out.
Well, I will type that up as well just to make sure I process it correctly in my thoughts.
Yeah, Ivor, how's it feel?
Hey. Well, here's a question. When would it have just been like you and I are hanging out? It's like, oh hey, I learned Legendor. I'm like, oh hey, by the way, ring. Is this like a one-on-one thing or a group setting? How's this legend loring happen?
I assume she
figure that out.
did
I
that
think we'd
on
be
her
one-on-one.
own, but yeah, it's up to you if you want.
I learned it on my own. He's wearing the ring, so I would have to do it. I would have to.
Oh,
read
that's
it.
true. I
would
guess you would have to ask him for the ring.
Yeah, but I think it would be just the two of us. Yeah.
Okay. So she probably does that while you are there with the ring. What did I say your axe was called?
Arcane.
Arcthane, that's what it was. I kept thinking Arcnos, but no, that was something else. Arcthane. Alright.
Now we need to go find Arcnos.
I like it how everybody just knows it as Dumb Axe.
Yeah.
Nobody can remember its original name.
Well, we didn't know it
Dumb
for
axe
so
is very
long.
personal with you, though, so.
Well, we might have remembered its original name if we had known its original name before we'd been calling her Dumbaxe for months.
Shadow Strider got called about 20 different things before it was actually Shadow Striders.
Was it? Oh.
Mainly by me.
Mm.
I'm bad with names. Oh, smile on her face.
I hate it. I hate it. It's on my finger. What does it do? I'm gonna die.
Turns out it kills anybody other than devils.
That would be fucking wild.
Oh hey, luckily I'm the one who put it on. Bless you.
Wow.
Still want to find a way to become an Illithid so I can wear that other ring. probably takes like a tadpole that goes into your head and eats your brain.
One of the downsides of legend lore is you get everything. So now I gotta write a short little thing here.
I'm gonna grab a
You
sparkling
don't
sword.
want to take a. Oh yeah, you know what?
It shouldn't take too long. I'll
we take
write
like a
you
5-minute break?
Sure, we could do a 5-minute while I type this up, or you guys can. I'll type.
Theo's still completely flabbergasted airships actually exist.
I'm curious what we will discover about the Dagger of Asyak when
Ooh.
it eventually gets legend lore.
Wait, has it had extra abilities you haven't known about this entire time?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of, but
But
then
it was.
again, it does.
It was.
It
Go ahead.
well, it did talk. It hasn't talked for a while, so.
It
The
was
dragon has been
some really
quiet
unique
as of late.
crafting, wasn't it? Like it was a really unusual craftsmanship. Like I think it was elven made or something.
Yeah, and it was originally
One of the key items.
just a dagger +1.
Yep.
And then after it absorbed the soul of the shadow dragon, that's when it began talking and became a dagger +2 that did an additional 1d6 of product damage.
Belle
Gotcha.
really likes putting souls in things.
Well, and also it was also one of the keys to the Nightweather Vault.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So an
Although that was
artifact from past cycle.
Before
Yeah.
my time.
Well, you were with us when we opened the vault, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, like a large part of the original campaign was tracking down that dagger. That's kind of their original mission.
I think my original Tuesday group, we only had like one session. Somebody actually picked the chest it was in and took it.
I know my character did that in one of the games. She turned into she was a druid, and she turned into a spider, crawled into the cart that they were transporting it in, and then like picked up the lockbox that it was in. She turned back into human, picked up the box, turned back into a spider, and crawled back out. And we were like level 2, so Lou wouldn't let us do anything with it. We couldn't get it open or anything, but we carried it around for a while.
Oh, yeah. Gildus and somebody else ended up following the hobgoblins and stuff that hit the convoy the first time back to where they were keeping all the loot. Gildus ended up, because he can speak with animals, talked to their donkey into listening to him instead and rode off with all the loot.
I tried to call Beryl. Beryl tried to talk with their donkey. He got no information. He just wanted food.
Well, Gildus can't actually understand the animals. It's more so whenever he talks to animals, charisma checks instead of animal handling, because they can understand his words like normal.
Gotcha. Well, Beryl's animal handling is like +9, I think, and I've saved up 8 or 9. I'm up to 8 or 9 inspiration points on Beryl. I've been saving them for the wyvern hatching.
You gotta send me a message as soon as it hatches.
It's still like 10 days or something in game, so it's still like a while, but it feels close.
I've been hearing about this wyvern egg for a very, very long time. I can't wait for you to finally get it. Heard about that more than I've talked about being a dragon.
Well, Beryl wanted to tame the wyvern's parents, but they tried to kill everyone in the tribe, so she had to settle for their egg.
Fine, I'll just kill you and take your child to raise as my own.
To be fair, we didn't know there was an egg until after the parents were dead, but they also would have killed them if we hadn't killed them. We didn't even know there were 2 wyverns until after the battle had been engaged with the first one.
Those are some cool monsters. We gotta get more power crystals to trade.
Well, aren't there like only 3 in existence in Gaia or
Oh,
something
only
like
one.
that?
The
Well,
other
only
are
one
shadow
that-
crystals.
There's none that are known, and only our party is pretty much got the only known one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, I don't think that there's like quantities of them around, like the ones that exist. Like our understanding was that they're not
It's
even
lost
thought to
technology,
be
so they
any.
can't
Yeah.
be made anymore. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can't make them, but also the number surviving is thought to be extraordinarily few, extraordinarily slim, and their whereabouts unknown. I thought somewhere along the lines, like we heard like a number that was thought to be surviving, but I think it might
crystals.
be. I think it might have been in some of the lore that I read when Lou still had his Gaian lore on a separate website before he moved it into Discord, and he's been adding to it and revamping it. And so it might be a really old number.
Oh, right. You learn the history of the weapon too, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it's
Something like that's going to have a long list of legends.
If it's a sentient weapon, do you get information on its occupant?
Well, sentient
All
weapons
right.
can come from a soul going into an item, or from the item itself having enough magic imbued to where it gains its own sentience.
Right. So I guess I'm like, if you're talking about a soul going into an item, legend lore on it, do you get any information about what occupies the item if it wasn't part of the original item? I don't know. I guess these are kind of situational questions.
I think when it comes to sentient things, my understanding is they are made that way. So I don't think it's like there was an item and then a thing was put into it. Typically,
Okay,
well,
so
specifically with Donnie's axe, so far how he's talking stuff is he was a dwarf and got put into the axe. That's why I'm putting that caveat in there.
yeah,
well, right,
plus,
but like the axe wouldn't have existed
dagger
before
didn't
him.
originally have Baldani's dagger didn't originally have the shadow dragon in it, and a ring of mind storing doesn't originally have a mind stored in it. So I think there are sentient.
You can.
Ring
There
of
are
mind
items
storing
that
is
you
very
can,
niche thing.
Yeah, you can, with rare exceptions, like trapping a soul is one thing, but making a sentient weapon, you craft it that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's not like you can give a flame tongue a sentience. You could probably make one like that from scratch, theoretically.
Yeah.
But
well, I guess
not
what
an
I was
existing one.
questioning was whether or not, like, so if a
Whether I'm tapping
weapon,
into actual legend as if reading a book or the item
right,
itself.
if the item
There
was
you go.
It's
crafted,
the latter.
yeah, I was thinking if the item was crafted as a sentient weapon, then legend lore might have information on that and if it was something that somehow absorbed later, like the dagger, it may or my question was whether or not you would get that information in that situation is I guess what I was wondering
would
about.
because it's magic as opposed to like researching in a book.
Okay.
All right, you got that?
I got that.
Now you got those 2 things done. And again, we'll say this was during the 3rd week.
Did you see my questions that need clarification? You don't need to answer them.
I did not. Where are those?
Right above what you posted to me.
Let me take a look. Yes and yes. For your 2 answers there.
Okay.
Turns out the ring had a contract tied to it. Whoever puts it on forfeits their soul.
That bridge when we get there.
Joke's on you. You have to have a soul.
I was gonna fucking say that. What?
Wait, did you already give it a Tinder or something?
Probably a couple of different people at this point, but
I've sold it like 7 times.
Your debt collectors are gonna have to like fight it out.
That's how you do it. Fucking sell your soul to 13 different people,
Sell it
and then
once, you might as well sell it 50 times.
yeah, it's already gone. And they don't know that.
Just keep
So,
selling it.
You're just making deals.
You could potentially, if you're charismatic enough, do that, then convince all the things that think they own your soul, well, last one standing, like what was being said. get out of your soul contract by making them all kill each other?
I wouldn't. Well, you believe what you want to believe.
What?
Cool. Well,
So, do
What
you
are
want
we-
to share anything, Zelia, or not?
she's like, fuck this. I don't want to share that either.
Yes, Johnny, I do. So I'll read this one where we're all in the party together. Oh, as you know, the axe is called Dark Thane.
Well, I
It's
knew that
actually,
already.
indeed, it's actually a
You told me
celestial. Johnny, do you want to listen or do you want to talk?
Oh, sorry.
Arcthane is a celestial weapon, and it's actually a weapon of an angel. It was first owned by Venark the Merciless, but as you know, the present occupant is a dwarven soldier who fell during a rather large battle with demonic forces. His name was Brevenier, and he was very heroic, defending the retreat of the dwarves within the celestial plane. Both he and the angel fell during the battle, and the mingling of their blood with the essence of the demon blood during this slaughter pulled his consciousness into the weapon, and he was trapped there. And as far as I can tell, he doesn't remember his life. He doesn't know who he is. If he were to remember who he was and be awakened, this battle axe would have more potent powers, particularly the ability to deal extra damage to
You'd
those
say like
with
smite.
Ah, sweet.
demon or glance at Ivor, devil blood. So he's not currently awakened, and I'm not quite sure how to do that, to be honest. But if he were to
Wait,
be,
just
you
gotta
would
tell him his name. I mean, that wakes me up when someone says Donnie. Wakes me up good.
could try that, yes, I suppose. But if you were to, you would have access to that extra damage, and also the ability to planeswalk to the celestial fields.
What would happen to
Oh, shit.
the dwarf if awakened? Would he no longer be in the axe?
He would still be trapped in the weapon, I believe.
What was that last part you said about celestial fields? I didn't quite hear
Would
it.
he be trapped in the weapon?
Yeah,
Well,
he is trapped there. There's nothing
Yeah,
he
he
can
would-
really
he
do
would
unless the
remain in the
weapon is
weapon.
destroyed.
Indeed. It's a rather meaningful weapon to the dwarven warriors who worship Moradin. And yes, it would enable you. It would give you the quality of the traveler, and you would be able to planeswalk to the celestial fields.
More or Tyr's. Wait, is Tyr Celestia or is he the Feywild?
He's Norse. I don't exactly know how
I
that
think
works.
he's
I
in
think it'd be
Celestia.
Celestia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be Tyr's hometown.
Drop in on tier for dinner.
Around my hometown.
Well,
Sweet.
you can't actually go talk to
You can, like,
gods, even if
You
you.
can directly
I mean, I guess you
report
could
to him after
try.
each mission.
You could try to go talk to a god. That's generally not a good idea, though.
Certainly try.
You'd most
At
likely
any rate.
speak to one of his followers.
Hand it rather gingerly back to you. I suppose you could work on trying to remind him of his past deeds. He was rather heroic, saved many lives of celestials and dwarfs who were servants of Moradin. Again, his name is Brevenier.
You type that to me like you have a spelling.
B-R-E-A-N-I.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want me to copy paste that for you, Donnie? I can just copy
If
paste it
Dahlia
into
would
chat.
allow it.
I mean, she said it all, so I assume she wouldn't care if I just copy pasted it.
It
Verbatim,
would be
but
nice for me in terms of copying it into my notes.
Sure. Here, I'll put it in the game chat.
Thank you.
you're welcome. Happy to help anytime.
Just don't,
Anyone who needs anything read, just let me
don't
know.
legend lore me.
You're a legend.
She already has your book.
We can talk about that later.
You are indeed a legend, Chief.
So Yeah, are we ready to go into the 4th week? That was a long 3rd week, but I think we got a lot done.
I think so. Yep.
Well, is the 4th week going to be when I get to talk to Who's or What's or about his spellbook?
Alright, the spell book. What spells were you looking for?
Teleport, just plain old teleport, and Rary's telepathic bond.
Do you already have those listed in downtime somewhere?
I had them listed on my spell lists of what I wanted.
What
They're
level?
they're not currently spells that I was given access to.
What level is... I can just look it up.
Yeah, so teleport is level 7, and Rary's telepathic bond, which I can't cast yet, but I wanted to copy it into my book for when I can. And Rary's telepathic bond is 5th.
Question,
So,
can you?
Yep.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask what high-level spells do you have, Zalia? And
Yeah, so my spell list with which I can trade
yeah.
would be... Hold on a minute, let me just pull up my... Contingency, Disintegrate, True Seeing are my 3 6th level spells.
Alright.
Then I have for 5th, Animate Objects, Contact Other Plane, Hidden Hearts, Helpful Hand, Legend Lore, and Seeming. Oh, and
So,
Teleportation Circle, which I imagine he would have.
he is willing to trade one of your spells for the telepathic bond.
Okay, cool.
So, you can say you got that set up, and it would just be the normal rules for scribing. You just have to spend the inks and everything.
Does she get to know what spell he wants from her? I was just curious.
Objects is pretty cool, that's all I'm saying.
Sure. We'll go with that one.
I'll give him my macros.
Exactly. Alright, so going into the 4th week...
Although the way we're spending gold, you're going to have to animate other things instead of coins.
Exactly, you need your coins. Well, I think she used coppers, doesn't she? Copper pieces?
I'm just kidding.
I think she'll be
I
okay.
think so.
It's like pennies. They're like just left on the ground. No one uses copper pieces. Like that's not true actually. The peasants use them quite a bit.
Very elitist thing to say.
Yeah, for adventurers. So, oh yeah, Ivor, you needed those names, right?
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
I forgot about that.
So I'm giving
I
everyone
just-
else some stuff.
Yeah, give me some stuff.
Give you some stuff.
Legends of Donnie through Knowles. That's awesome.
Now it just makes me want to write some iambic pentameter.
My favorite poet is Alexander Pope. Partially inspired it.
It's been a very long time since I worked on any poetry, but and for my undergrad degree, I had 3 or 4 semesters of poetry, so writing poetry specifically.
It's both very rewarding and very time consuming.
Are you gonna tell Ivor anything about what you found out through identifying the ring?
Eventually. Yes.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Just not right now. Alright.
Not right now. No.
Not right now.
I want to know what's befallen Ivor.
Slow and painful death.
Oh, you think that when I tell him he's going to tell any of y'all?
Have you met me?
Oh no, this is Jarvis asking you.
It's gonna be just be sneaking around more.
Theo's kind of understanding that
He
just
doesn't realize
not
I'm
gonna know shit.
by not blurting it out right now, because he's may not be something he wants blurted out right now.
He's got secrets. Alright, so did I pass time? I think I did already.
I need
Yeah,
to make
I
a
did.
character that keeps everything secret.
Oh god.
I'm not
Well,
creative enough
might
to
be
do
very
that.
secretive.
I don't think you're capable of doing that.
Turn into a game of diplomacy. Everyone's just keeping everything secret. Alright, so we going into the 4th week. Let's do this. Base,
Don't make me go first. Don't make me go first.
Fine, I'll go from the other side. Well, I know what Ivor's doing.
I might get some ideas by the time we get through.
Alright, I just assumed you were going to make another potion. But
It
sure.
just feels really boring, but also it's probably what I'm
Go to
going
the
to do.
casino, have some fun.
Go to the casino.
Take a week
Go,
off.
go gamble.
Game
I'm
on, Donnie.
tired of these labs. I'm going to go gamble. Batha needs a new pair of
efficient.
shoes.
Don't have to be efficient. Just play your character.
What would gambling entail?
Lots of rolling,
Money.
I think. Yeah.
Like what kind of skills though is what I meant.
I think skills that Batha doesn't have, but it might be funny
Oh,
anyway.
Insight, deception, and intimidation.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
She has
So
one of
she's-
those.
She's very good at one of those. All right, no, go ahead and do everyone else since I've always gone first, and I'll think about it.
All right. So, Ivor, I think I know what you're doing. Go ahead and... Yeah.
Well, if there was, so I've exhausted the list that we already came up with week by week.
Oh,
If
okay.
if you think there's other stuff to be gained from research, I will 100% do that. And we can just figure it out later.
At this point, probably not. The libraries only have so much of these subjects you're looking for.
All the extra stuff to
Okay.
sell, by the way.
And
Is there a different downtime activity you might be interested in?
there is. Let me find it.
All right, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Beldani, what are you doing for week 4?
Let's see. If Ivor doesn't have the list of names of people that have magic weapons, if I was going to say if he does, then I would spend the week scoping out who
So,
would be a good target
basically-
to steal a magic weapon from.
Oh, you're looking to steal one.
Yes.
Alright. That would definitely be on the high side of difficulty. But, yeah, I suppose you could attempt it. So you're going to take your week of casing right now?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. What about Donnie?
So if I could spend the week, and I don't, if this would take a full week, I would attempt to do it. If not, then I would probably go back to pit fighting. But I'd spend my time with Dumax and actually trying to talk to him a little bit and getting him to awaken. But not just that, but also just kind of like, so I learned a little bit about you and whatnot. I don't know how much you want to RP that, but that's what Donnie would, after learning what he learned from Zalia, he'd be really curious about both the god connection and then again that notion of actually potentially being able to travel to the celestial fields and potentially chat with Tyr again.
What did I say? Brevenir was his name?
Yeah, Brevenir.
Yeah. So he would definitely feel stranger hearing that. He would feel strange hearing the name again. He would say, "Are you telling him?" Well, I guess he was there when Zalia was talking to you. He would say, "It seems so familiar, yet I don't remember it. I don't remember any of my time on the celestial planes or my service to Moradin, though yeah, the events that she described, they seem so familiar to me. I don't know what this means by awaken or how I do it, but
Would you know the Van Ark nice lady, if she's got like maybe a special I don't know ribbon that I like tie around you to wake you up? I don't know, something like that.
Anarch died when Brevenier died.
I know.
Under the description.
That's-
Oh, gotcha.
I was yeah. I know.
Okay.
I was thinking like leftover is what I was
I
getting
see.
at.
I honestly, Donnie, I don't know. Although I will say this, I've noticed when I get to be involved in the slaying of demons and devils, it almost feels like it awakens something within me. So perhaps if we were to rid the world of more of that type of evil, it might help me.
See, so you mean you want me to kill Ivor?
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, he says, technically that might help, but I feel as though it would be detrimental to you and your group. Ivor seems like, even though he is demon or devil blooded, seems like a nice enough fellow.
What about the little shit on his shoulder?
Oh yeah, we should definitely kill that thing.
Good to know. I'm kind of in agreement with you, but I think we still have to wait a little bit on that.
Yeah.
So one other thing then, I guess, since I can't just do it talking to you, nice librarian lady, a Vivian, you got a minute?
You asking? Oh wait, you're looking for her?
Yeah.
Oh, she'd be happy to see you again. She was gonna be like, oh, hello, Donnie.
Hi, Vivian.
You-
There's a angel person called Van Ark. Do you know anything about that angel booksies on that person?
She kind of blinks a few times as you ask her that. I can't say I'm familiar with them, but I could look around the library and see if there's anything here about them.
That'd be nice.
Certainly, I can help you with that, she says.
So I would spend the rest of the week trying to research these other more specifics about these, like the histories around them as well.
The histories around what?
Van Ark, the
Okay.
Merciless.
With Vivian's help?
Yep.
So give me a persuasion check.
Donnie is very charismatic. Not actually
Apparently
bad.
he is. So even though you might get a little bit annoying at times, Vivian seems to be enjoying hanging out with you and finding books for you and having lunch with you. So she puts up with it, and it would still cost the research fee of 50 gold, but she seems to be much better at this than you are.
I'm not surprised by this.
And so you pay the 50 gold.
Yep, I just took it out of my inventory.
So she does indeed find some history books that speak more of both Van Ark and the fort that he was at. She doesn't find mention of Brevier, but she gives you a bunch of books, and she says these might be of use to you, and then she would kind of tell you all the stuff that she found out. Was there specific information you were looking for?
Specifically, though, as you mentioned the fort, I know it had come up a few times previously, so maybe as we were doing that, or maybe this is the fort, we were looking for a location in the north where he was forged or his history came from, and so given all of that, would we have been able to refine that location, that specifically?
So the weapon itself was actually forged within the Celestial Fields.
Oh, okay.
Because, apparently he was wrong about his origin place.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so the fort, there's no other good location necessarily to visit related to him.
So, like something related to his background?
It's just it's fine. I'm kind of grasping at straws here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll say, you find a lot of information on Van Ark and the area where the battle happened. The axe has been through a lot, though, so there are a lot of mentions of like famous battles that it was part of and other famous people who wielded it. But that might take some more research.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think where I'm going with this is that notion of, again, I get the killing more demons will awaken it, but Donnie has this, and it's probably not even true, but that notion of returning, not necessarily returning, but taking the axe and Arcthane back to, his origins, both as, Brevanir and Van Ark and the battles as being another pathway to potential awakening, whether that's true or not.
It certainly could be. You just might have to go to the Celestial Fields for that. Alright, so what about Theo?
Was going to try and make a crossbow to enchant with +1, but I don't think any of my artificer abilities apply to making anything other than magic items, and can't flash a genius or anything. So
Do you need Flash of Genius to make the crossbow?
well, if I'm trying to make masterwork, having bonuses to add to your crafting is a good thing. Because it has to be over 25 to be masterwork, right?
You can always swing by and get enhanced ability cast on you for a couple hours.
That only lasts a couple hours. This takes a very long time to make it be the same situation as Flash of
I feel
Genius.
like
Unless
Flash
you're
of
going to sit there,
Genius
then.
would have some utility, like suppose you're gonna like.
Based on everything I'm reading online, Flash of Genius 100% should go with crafting, but it takes more than an instant, so
Well,
it
I
can't
mean, there's
apply.
certain times, where you need like, oh yeah, that can go in there, or oh, I almost dropped that, but I caught it. That kind of.
That is the mindset I was in. But,
I think it makes sense when a creator is creating to like have like little ideas kind of flash into their mind like while they're at work. Like they already have a plan in mind and they're working towards it, but then they're like, "Oh, what if I do this?"
I did figure out in reading to confirm my thoughts were right that we can also use it on initiative. So, but I don't know what to do. Guess Theo's just gonna go out in the field and take a nap for the week.
Well, you may as well give it a try, Jarvo.
You don't
I
have any.
don't want to waste money.
Well, crafting a crossbow, doesn't that take like a day to attempt? Like a normal crossbow?
I do not think so.
I thought you could craft, here, I think it's based on the value. How much is a crossbow?
I think a light crossbow is like 25 gold pieces. Or something
It takes.
Yeah. So... Let me see. I think
75 GP.
Because I think
And then it's not magic item crafting, it's crafting in item rolls.
Yeah, but that's how you make a masterwork, is to make a normal, then roll really well. So it might just take you a few attempts, but, it might take you a few days, but once you have it, then you can enchant that. It just might take a couple of days to roll what you need.
Oh, I can't make more than one a week because it costs more than 50 GP.
Does it?
Yeah, character can complete multiple items in a work week if the item's combined cost is 50 GP or lower. Hand crossbow 75 GP.
It seems
hand
like a
crossbows
long time to make
are
a
expensive.
crossbow. For some reason I thought it was less time
And
to
then-
make normal items.
No, it's so determine how many weeks it's going to take you. Take the price, divide it by 50, so that's 1.5. So it takes me a week and a half to make that, whenever it takes me 3 days to make an uncommon magic item.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Surely there's crafters in town that are masters at their skill.
Can't spend that much money on a masterwork crossbow.
Right, but it's not going to be
expensive.
as much as a magic item. I mean, if we're just looking for an exquisitely finely crafted crossbow masterwork that isn't magic, then that's still going to be super affordable compared to this other stuff we've been buying. And I'm sorry to speak for anyone who might disagree with me, but I imagine this party is not going to have problems with you spending that money.
Gut reaction, it's probably 10 times the cost of a regular one. That
Yeah.
would be my, that would
Really?
be my
Yeah,
go-to.
it's something
Oh,
that's
okay.
really hard to make. So
That's still cheaper than any magic item,
True.
non-consumable magic item. Yeah, yeah.
And definitely
have
you
a go
can.
at making it first before you.
Well, so if he made 5 attempts or 7 attempts or whatever, then that's what sounds like 75 times 7.
It's
So
probably
it might be
still
worth to
cheaper
just.
than buying one. Yeah.
I'm
If-
just
if you
surprised
can.
it
Okay.
would take that much time.
Yeah, and because it's not a magic item, my artificer time reducer doesn't apply to it.
Which is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the whole idea of masterwork is something I kind of worked in from the older editions, so maybe they didn't take that into account.
Even with the Xanathars, it seems more like a band-aid to an afterthought for a crafting system.
Let me get back to you on that. I'll think about that a little. I thought for some reason I had it in my head that it only took like a day per attempt on these items, but obviously I was wrong on that. Zalia, what do you want to do for the week?
I'm gonna copy that spell into my spellbook. That's 10 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish that other scroll. That's another day, and then I'm gonna copy another scroll. So I think that puts me 2 hours short of the week. So I'll carry the 2 hours into the next week.
Okay. So
And at night, when I'm curled up in bed, I'm gonna relax with a nice book.
all right. Let's see about your complications
Not
again.
sure you would think that that's a nice book.
I think it's
Yeah,
lovely.
you might get very tired of this guy
Iambic
rambling.
pentameter.
It's like reading the history of Vlad the Impaler. Like, fuck, this is. I don't know.
This is a lot. This is a lot
Jesus.
to digest. All right. And Betha, are you going gambling? Or what are you doing?
No, I'll probably just
Let's do a
make
potion.
the potion.
You're no fun, Betha. All right.
I'm not. You're right, but
going
she's
to the
also
lab.
negative charisma. And I would spend a whole week if everything goes perfectly, I
That's
might
fine.
make
I
20
mean,
gold.
it was mostly just because I like the idea of a little old lady yelling at everyone while she was gambling.
No, yeah, I was thinking it would be. I don't know. It would be cute, but like I don't know.
All right. So
She's
you're.
living it up. She's eating well and drinking well, and so let me contribute a little bit of something for our coming expedition.
All right. Fair enough. So you're doing your potion brewing. No complication. So I think this week can pass pretty quick because nothing was happening. I do still have to get back to Theo on the crossbow and how we're going to do that. But for everyone else, I think it would pass pretty quick. So go ahead and I'll pass the days. You can do your upkeeps. And
I had also sent you a message about what I would be trying to do this week, but you can get to that later.
Okay, let's see. Gotcha. Yeah, let me get back to you on that one. I need to get back to you and Theo.
Right.
About your stuff. But everyone else, everyone passed the week, and like I said, I'll get back to you two on what happens with you guys. So yeah, do your upkeeps and spend your stuff for your craft, and this is probably a good place to end anyway, because we're at the end of the 4th week. Got 2 weeks again. So it is now the 75th of fall.
Did the Artificers Guild give us a expected completion date for that amulet?
Yes. Let me get back to you.
Okay.
It's a very rare, so there's no reduced time. It'd
Yeah.
be 10 weeks.
It would be probably a little bit.
10 weeks.
Damn. I was under the impression that it was going to be ready before we
Yeah,
left.
couldn't they like double up manpower on it or something? With the what?
I thought there was like
The-
multiple groups working on it.
Is there a rule on how many people you could have working on it?
Yeah, it depends on the size of the object. For the health, I'd rule it at 2 people can work on it at a time. Because it is a necklace, pretty much.
Yeah. So it could
Well,
Well,
potentially
you
be
could
just
have
like-
multiple people working on different parts of it. Well,
You want to
I'll-
do shifting stuff?
yeah. So what week was
If
that?
you do shifts, you can
First
make
week.
at most
That was
6
the
first week.
people a day.
Yeah, sure. So we'll say maybe they could have it done by the end of your 5th week, just to make things easy before you leave. That would be 4 weeks total that they'd need for it.
Cool.
Traded my trains to make sure Ivor's a bit more protected.
I'm,
All right,
I
so
die too much.
I need 5 more votes for MVP.
Oh,
We're almost
It's a
out
pretty
of the
good set.
city,
I
but
got
I
no
feel
idea.
like everyone is enjoying these sessions, right?
Oh yeah.
Lots
Except-
of RP and camera shifting.
Except somebody has a fucking secret. Tell me.
Except, yeah. everyone
Really?
has secrets.
Really?
Secrets.
Really? Wow.
Somebody has a secret they want to tell me. By the way, here's the thing I want to do this week. I'll send you a message.
So much easier playing a completely open and honest character.
Yeah.
Donnie, with 3 votes, you are MVP.
Thank you, folks.
With
You're welcome.
yeah.
That was fun. It's nice to know who Dumbax is. He's still going to be called Dumbax, but
I still think he's a badass.
He's a bad axe.
Like a badass, you know,
Oh,
but a
naughty
badass.
bad axe.
bad isn't good. Yeah.
What a bad
But
axe.
when you keep saying, I keep thinking like naughty. It's not exactly.
bad dog. No.
Bad axe. Bad axe.
Happy badass. Thank
No,
you. Like,
Definitely
no?
along the lines of badass.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. But it's still Dumbax. It's just Donnie.
So
Although,
is
I mean, this whole
Dumbax.
notion, I mean, we've got to obviously, you know, first and foremost are the Shadowfell and all of that. But man, I'm now so tempted to want to go to the Celestial Fields. So, actually, quickly, Lou, that Traveler ability, is that just going to, or would that also enable returning?
That would be back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is just a one-way ticket
be
to early
kinda-
death.
The
yeah.
same location that he leaves, or to a location of his choosing?
That you're not sure of.
I'm just curious. Looking.
Well,
for
but I do
future.
have to go to bed,
Yeah.
so it was a pleasure as always, folks. See you in a week.
Night, Donnie.
Good
See
night.
you soon.
See you next week.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night, y'all.
And that was week 4, right?
Yeah, you just passed week 4.
Do I understand correctly that the party was planning on staying 5 weeks?
Yeah, that is what I had heard.
So we have like kind of one more round.